When you separate in the world, remember the relation that binds you to love and unity. And prefer not a stranger before thy own blood. Incredible. Moorish Cosa Nostra, industrious sex. I cracked the code of Da Vinci, these are actual facts. Angels and demons, Illuminati and Judas goats. Elite minds of our own who turn cutthroat. Espionage and betrayal, 30 pieces of silver. Merovingian bloodlines and boule house niggas. Who would've figured we'd be sleeping with the enemy? Let us rise and give honors to Nova Drew Ali. We used to say, for I am you, and you are me. Now the reaper's your brother's keeper, he's the devil's seed. Cloud chasing in the seed, he abandoned the creed. Desire was his vice, but envy his disease. A fist full of dollars led him to his demise. Front page, it was tragic, a bloody homicide. What profits man if he gains the world but loses soul? Feel the wrath of Allah, he was struck sevenfold. Moorish ties, we span time 700 years. Principalities, world powers, diamond chandeliers, sheiks and emirs, black turbans and scimitars. Allah's will, we prevail as one under God. Moorish ties, we span time 700 years. Principalities, world powers, diamond chandeliers, sheiks and emirs, black turbans and scimitars. Allah's will, we prevail as one under God. The seat of power lacks dominion when sultans depart, but immortal virtues shall remain within the people's hearts. True successors are often overlooked and crucified. Sheikh Emilia did his best to exercise his fire. Opposition from all sides forced him underground. Exiled from his post, but loyal to his crown. He stood his ground, but no one man can defeat the mob. He transitioned in silent historic landmarks. We came as we are, and we are as we came. We came, saw, and we conquered. MAG shall remain. These are divine instructions. Let us unite the nations. Heavenly mandates, self-determination, treaties, consortiums, covenants, holy and divine. Social duties and obligations, proclamation signed. Theocratic, supreme laws, organic design. Creative faith, deliver justice in due time.
You raise the cowards, you raise the imbeciles, you raise the good for nothings. If you cannot do what other nations have done, what other races have done, then you had better die. Can we do it? We can do it. Because any leadership that teaches you to depend upon another race is a leadership that will enslave you. Let me say that again. Any leadership that teaches you to depend upon another race is a leadership that will enslave you. They gave leadership to our foreparents, and that leadership made them slaves. But we decided to find a leadership of our own to make ourselves free men. Babylon did it. Assyria did it. France under Napoleon did it. Britain under William Pitt, Earl of Chatham did it. America under George Washington did it. Africa with 400 million black people can do it. If you cannot do it, if you are not prepared to do it, then you had better die.
And we are live. Yes, we are live on Let's Think Podcast. I'm your host, Sheikh 7 Islam Male, and allow me to rise, giving all thanks and perfect praises unto Allah, highest honors to his holy prophet, honors to the forerunners Marcus Mosiah Garvey, honors to the Moorish Science Temple of America, honors to my leadership, Brother El Portisel and Grand Sheikh M. Portisel and his staff, honors to all, and I mean all leadership, past, present, and future, honors to all participate in the comprehensive program of uplifting fallen humanity. Yes, and we are live right here on Let's Think Podcast. Pardon me. Oh, let's shed some light on things. Absolutely. Absolutely. Yes, we're live. Today we won't have our co-host, Jarvis McGriffell, in the building because he's handling some business. But hey, I know he's with us in spirit. So who do we have today? We have our brother, Kemetian Adept Heruphant. Absolutely, Kemetian Adept Heruphant. We have okay, Kaba S with a $50 super sticker, honors and gratitude. Start off right. Absolutely. Everybody, please, please, please hit the like button as you come in. Please hit the like button as you come in. If you have not subscribed, please subscribe. And our brother, Kaba S has started off the day right. If you can, and it's within your power and within your desire, please donate to the channel. We had a cash out floating across the screen. And you can also donate through Super Sticker, Super Chat, ETC, Super Thanks, ETC. Feel free to donate. Yes. So, we have one of those discussions tonight. This is one of those ones right here. Absolutely. Oh, and that's, she said, I am a sister. Excuse me, sister. Excuse me, sister. Pardon me. That is a sister. Peace and Islam to the sister. I stand corrected. So we have our brother Kemetian Adept Heruphant. Brother, how you doing today?
All is well, brother. I want to rise first. Giving praises to the great God Allah, Father God Allah, honors to his holy prophet, honors to our holy prophet, Noble Drew Ali. We rise upon the seventh within the unbroken circle of justice, mercy, love, and right. Giving honors to the ancestors, everything, that is on the manifest, brother, first and foremost. So you already know how we going in, brother.
Absolutely.
Yeah, man. When we link up, man, it's always a grand drawing, brother.
Absolutely. It is. Absolutely. Absolutely. Yes, sir. Today we have the title of our show today is Ancient Kemetic Attestation of the Kabalah. Adept science or pseudo science fiction. Now, allow me to say, the Kabalah conversation has most definitely been a topic of conversation. And it's also a very vast conversation in the occult world, also in the upper esoteric communities. So this should be a great one. And you're demonstrating from an ancient Kemetic position. And that's the beautiful. Brother Nazarene, the Scene TV. We see you, Mod Squad. You in the building. Yes, sir. So here's the thing. When we say Kabalah, right? Or tree of life, or Kabbalistic tree of life, right? It's mostly spoken of from a Hebraic or Jewish standpoint. We never really get an opportunity to hear it from a Kemetic standpoint. Absolutely, absolutely, Sister Kaba, as aunt, absolutely, we are the tree, and so let's step into this conversation, brother, man. Let's go ahead and run right into it because I know the people are waiting. Let's demonstrate that measure. Islam.
Islam, yes, sir. And if you allow me, brother, to share my screen, I got my drawing. That way they can follow along and see the vision. Because the visuals are everything when it comes to giving our people some insight. And we want to give honors to the audience out there. This is being brought to you by the Egyptian Adept Research Sultanate session. The Egyptian Adeptus Research Sultanate, also has an acronym, which is actually EARS, my brother, 7. EARS. Yeah, and I have some ears. If you look closely right there, they are actually in here. They come from Kemetic. They actually have certain Kemetic relics out there, like how they deal with the hieroglyphs.
Absolutely.
And it's just full of ears. You know what I mean? So I took one of those and kind of embedded it in here slightly for those to see, you know.
Absolutely. I see you. I
So
see.
yeah.
Hey Mo, hey Mo,
Mm.
Mo, you kind of slick with these graphics, aren't you?
You see what I'm saying? I tried to
Yes,
hide a little something in there, let the people see something that they really didn't see. It's, you know how they be like, well, see if you can spot the ears in here. You
I
know,
see him.
yeah, there they go right there, you know. And so as you can
Yes,
see
sir.
the God man rising up, you know,
Absolutely.
the alchemist raising that scimitar above that star, you know,
Hey
so it's a
Mo,
lot of symbolism in there.
I
Yes,
would like
sir.
you before we even get into it. Let's talk about these Egyptian hieroglyphic symbols you got in this demonstration. Talk
Oh
to us
yeah.
about that before we even step into the presentation.
Yeah, we can do that. Actually, what we have here, let me move this out the way too. What we have here, family, this is actually Meroitic.
Mm.
Meroitic is said to be the only language that hasn't been translated. I got the key to the translation. You
Oh.
know, so in the future, mashallah, we're gonna try to bring some works forth. You know, it's been there in front of the people all the while. They just didn't pay attention to it. This
Mm.
Meroitic, a lot of modern scholars would call this a pseudo hieroglyphic alphabet. The crazy thing is about it, they don't call Champollion's alphabet pseudo. And this is much older than Champollion's alphabet. So you see how they
Mm.
like to play on our top, brother?
Yes, sir.
You know,
Absolutely.
so basically what I did, I pretty much just went one for one with Egyptian Adept's research Sultanate session.
Mm-hmm.
You know, I researched Sultanate, and it's basically utilizing these Meroitic alphabets, you know,
Mm.
and above it, you know, this right here actually says that you rather be one than see one. Swift angel.
Yeah.
That's what that says.
Yes.
So, you know, that's the chairman, you know, that's his, he coined that phrase, you know, you rather be one than see one.
Well,
You
you
know,
real
so
slick with that.
I had to put that one up there. And so a lot of this is really a condensed version. Like when you look up here, you see the owl,
Uh-huh.
you see the lion, you
Mm-hmm.
see the ox, and you see the
Mm-hmm.
man.
Oh,
Now,
yes.
if you go into the biblical context, you see eagle, lion, ox, and man, as opposed
Mm.
to owl, lion, ox, and man. But Elom without the he is Elom, but with the he it becomes Elohim. Now, here
Mm.
in, you know, with the owl, Olom is a word that is known as ulam or ulam, which means knowledge.
Mm.
You see what
Or
I'm saying?
item. Or item.
Ilum. That's
Yeah.
right. Or ilm, some people say.
Yes.
You know, but you know, whichever vowel you put there, still dealing with knowledge.
Absolutely.
You know, it also means water too, because water is synonymous with knowledge. We're gonna learn
Mm.
some of that in this presentation. So you
Ah.
see, yes, sir. And so you see, I have the eye of Heru, you know, Ra. You see the atom dish shining forth from the eye with the
Mm-hmm.
rays at the end, the hands at the end. We say the hand is symbolic to the mind due to its ability to shape, mold, obtain, retain, you know, and so
Absolutely.
forth and so on. You know, and
Absolutely.
the swift angel actually unfolded into the God man rising straight upward. If you look
Mm.
at the center here, this symbol comes from a place, and those who know, you know. You know, you go back
Mm-hmm.
to the ancient orders of the pyramid. That's
Mm.
where we got this from, and we placed this in the center. So it's ancient Kemetian order, you know, and the symbol, which is the key of the life, you know, of all existence, you know, the Ankh, which is synonymous with our circle 7. We can even see it. So Kemetian Adept Heruphant is not speaking of me, but it's speaking of all of us who become masters of ourselves. Although my chairman, you know, conferred this upon me, and you was there
Absolutely.
when the brother demonstrated it. You know what I mean? But
Yes, sir.
Safek
I'm well slick.
Pekaru, that's something that people don't know about, brother. Safek Pekaru.
Mm.
Safek means 7. Pekaru means circle. Yeah, that's Kemetically stated. And this is actually a variation of the name that Joseph or Yusuf was given in the Piscean records when he was called Zephaniah Paneth. That word is actually, you know, a relation to the same thing. It means pretty much circle 7. So he was given the degree of propheta in the Bible. You know, propheta is the 7th adept degree. You know, for those who may not know, when you get into the Crowder Report, you know, which are degrees that you will see featured in the book African Holistic Health by our brother Layloa Africa. He actually placed the degrees right there in the book, and that probably went over a lot of people's head. Right there in the beginning, he speak on these 7 degrees. These same 7 degrees were the degrees that are mentioned in the Exhument of a Nation by my chairman. These are the ones that were given to him through the Prince of Peace. You know what I mean? Which we call really those degrees that take one up above the sun, moon, and stars around the almighty throne of law. Or we call them senior course. Let's just put it that way. You know what I mean? So that, you know, without putting, you know, everything else out there, but in essence, these degrees represent how we live life. So it don't matter what type of building you go into, you know, the right ceremonies and forms that we go through, you know, in all actuality, these things are buffetings that prepare us, you know, and prep us for certain things that we would deal with in life. Absolutely. You know, and the more that we go through them over and over, because, you know, a lot of these tests come back to us, these brotherhood tests, through doors that we don't observe. The same test, but in a different way. But the more familiar we become with them, the more adept we become when it comes to dealing with these tests, and how it can be the loss of a loved one. It could be the loss of worldly wealth. You know, it says it in the Grand Quran. Allah said that, do you think that you will be left alone saying you believe and you will not be tested? See what I'm saying? So that's what these degrees represent, and that's something we'll be going through until we drop this physical guard. You know, 7 days a week, 7 days in a year, yes, 7 days in a circle.
Absolutely.
And if you look, you see 3 knots here. In each one of these knots, you see 7s. You see? 7, 7, 7. You know, 21, Kemetically, this takes us into the 21 gates. You know, the hidden gates, you know, of the Arids. You know, so that's it's science all up in this demonstration, brother. You know, and if you look, you can also see the horns, as they would like to call them, but it's really an inverted crescent. And you see the solar disc symbolically amalgamated in this image here. You see, it's the wisdom that come out of that. You see what I'm saying? Same headdress that's worn by the God man and God woman in ancient Kemet. You know, where you see the moon and then it's cradling the sun.
Absolutely.
That's why you see the sun coming up out of that. And then you see the man unfolding through the principles. And actually on this scimitar is the word Heruphant. You see, and we know that's justice taking its course. So, you know, that's the brief breakdown in this science, brother.
Bro, that's a heavy measure. You know what, brother? When you break it down, you know, I had never, you know, yeah. Wow. Bro, yeah, I see you demonstrating, Mo. Yeah, you kind of tricky. You kind of slick with them graphics, Mo. I see you.
Oh, yeah. Everything has meaning. This is divine alchemy. You know, this is divine alchemy, basically. Turning one, you know, from a base nature to gold.
Absolutely.
That's what all these lessons are dedicated to.
Absolutely.
Well, now, I want to go into some drawings, and I was talking to you today about 5D thinking. And a lot of this comes from one of my teachers, like I spoke to you earlier. You know, I was able to study under this brother for 10 years, brother Naketi. He is a professor, was not only a professor at Florida State University here, but also FAMU. And he basically was a financial forecaster. dealing with the economy, and you know, he's very knowledgeable. He got a lot of videos on YouTube that you can go check him out. You know, dealing with his work throughout the years, but also he introduced me to the teachings of Brother Bedi Uzman Said Nursi of Turkey. Bedi Uzman of Said Nursi of Turkey was, even though Said Nursi never really took on the title Sheikh, you know, sage, and he really didn't care for titles too much, but he was a true Sheikh, brother.
Yes, sir.
You know, he was a true Sheikh. You know, he was a true master teacher and all that, and he touched on the teachings of Tasawwuf in his own way. You see?
Yes,
so Said Nursi, his whole motivation was to expose Darwinism, because he seen that it was going to become a big thing in the future. So he dedicated his whole life to formulating a paradigm that would combat Darwinism. In other words, combat the naturalist mindset of thinking that everything came into existence by itself without a cause. And one of his greatest works is the Staff of Moses, which is known as the Supreme Sign. That's one of the books that I encourage all of our people to get, you know, because he goes into reading the book of creation, you know, and once you read the book of creation, creation becomes a science book, and you begin to extract from the ayats of creation, or these signs, a clear conception of the science that has been presented to us divinely. But the disconnection has to do with what people are misplacing creation with, saying that it just came into existence with no creator. The misconnection is that they are giving credit to other than the creator. So that's why it says disconnections and misconnections. It says
what's the name of the book again?
This is 5D thinking, and I'm gonna click on it in the next slide. I got a link, so I'm gonna show it to you, where you can actually go into it. And this particular PDF, I'm going to send it to those who request it. You know, once I go through, and I ain't gonna go through everything, you know, because I don't want to draw a whole time and just deal with the things that are necessary.
You say he wrote one called Moses what?
The Staff of Moses.
The Staff of Moses.
Yes, sir. The Staff of Moses. Bedi Uzman Said Nursi, the man of the millennium. And it's basically a brother, a traveler going on a journey looking at creation. You know, he started with the heavens, you know, and look at it, and he observed it, and he asks himself, how in the world this right here can be as beautiful as it is, complex as it is, and the creator behind it not be as complex. And he goes through this whole journey to where he go all the way down even to the cellular level, where the cells begin to talk to him and say, well, basically, if you don't know how to express, you know, our functions and how we work within your body, then just be silent. This is what the cells begin to talk to, you know, the traveler. And then he have to humble himself. Well, I really don't know, you know, how you function within me. You know, so that alone let me know that it had to be something greater that designed me. As far as when it comes to the intelligence, man, it's powerful. In the end, he end up, after he go through the whole journey of looking at everything in creation, the cycles of the planets, you know, all types of things that take place around us, the phenomena, he came to the conclusion of how he was made. We say, who made you? At the end of the day of his journey, he was standing before himself. You see how powerful that is?
Absolutely.
You know, so 5D thinking is a model that Brother Kemetian Adept created. You know what I mean? And it's based off of this teaching. He introduced me to these teachings, like I say, a long time ago. It's been 30 years when I first was introduced to Bedi Uzman Said Nursi. You know, the Rays collection, or what they call the Rasali Nur, you know, the lights, the collection of the books of light. And so the book, the Staff of Moses, is just one portion, a chapter out of one of the books. But it's one of the most powerful and one that I love after hearing this brother teach. But he has come up now with the 5D thinking model. And like I say, it's connected to this, so you'll be able to go into it and go deeper. But I just took minor things out of it with this portion. You see?
Yes, sir.
Okay, so it says, and I'm going to run through this real quick so that we can move through the slides. Like I say, I ain't going through all of them, but just the ones that matter to give us a grand draw. Modern society grapples with numerous crises, social, moral, and what we call existential. These crises stem from profound disconnections. We witness the disconnection of the self from its sustainer, creation from the creator, body from soul, this world from the hereafter, meaning from matter, and humanity from the cosmos. We compound the disconnection problem by forming misconnections with nature, material causes, chance in the ego. The dominant materialistic worldview, limited to 4 dimensions, 3 of space and 1 of time, fosters these disconnections. This perspective shapes both secular and Islamic curriculums. Secular curriculums discuss the creation without the creator, while Islamic curriculums often highlight the creator but neglect creation. The 5D thinking model offers a holistic response to the problem of separation, promoting a worldview to heal these rifts by reconnecting everything to the creator. It guides us into the 5th dimension, where we perceive the divine power and wisdom behind everything. The universe becomes an elegant book, and science is the study of divine signs within it. The model reconnects itself to the sustainer as Abid, worshiper, creation to the creator as Makhluk, and science to revelation as Ayah, signs in the cosmic book. As we read the book of the universe under the light of the Quran, we discover signs, ayats of Allah, and develop sound character. Now, I'm going to let you build on that right there, brother. What you think about that so far, dealing with the concept of 5D thinking, brother? 7?
I'm gonna tell you what it definitely insinuates in a couple short words is the expansion of consciousness.
Exactly.
That's exactly what it says to me without going any further. I mean, it's like, it was kind of like, in so many words, it was just plain to me, like, boom.
Yes, sir.
Yes,
Spot
sir.
on.
Yes, sir.
So in detail, 5D thinking, the model, it offers the following distinctive features. It states first, it will eliminate any explicit or implicit assertions that causes, nature, or chance are the true sources of observed phenomena. By removing the blindfold of learned ignorance, that's a powerful statement. The blindfold of learned ignorance. And most of our people that are victims of learned ignorance become those who speak that ignorance most eloquently. I call it eloquent ignorance. When you drill yourself with something for so long, how they say, a well-organized lie will always defeat a disorganized truth.
Absolutely.
This is what the skeptics say and the so-called scientists in our community. So in other words, they say they know they lying, but as long as it's organized as a lie, you can get by. Like they say, the little white lie.
Yeah.
But anyway, so, the blindfold of learned ignorance from the secular perspective, meaning those who have a materialist mindset, learners can marvel at God's extraordinary and dynamic creative acts. Then it says, second, the model uses an analogy to make subjects understandable and relatable. That's what we're going to do when we go into this Kabalah. This approach is rooted in belief that the heart is the ultimate repository of validated knowledge. Through analogy, the heart can verify and accept new knowledge with certainty. Third, it fosters critical thinking through questioning, helping pardon self learners sift through false choices and arrive at the correct answer through reasoning. Fourth, it reassures learners that the correct choice is evidence-based and verifiable. This dimension allows them to understand why God must be the sole creator of the observed phenomena. Fifth, it helps learners recognize the infinite value of the observed phenomena and appreciate the importance of this gift from them, or for them, and other beings in the universe. It also guides them to derive moral and character lessons from scientific topics. And we're going to show you how the Kabbalah, the tree of life itself, is such a manual, a chart, a map, so to speak, that it also gives one the ability to derive moral and character lessons from the scientific topics. Our brother also have a book called Character Building too. It ain't strange. Our prophet tell us these two we use in the workshop of the mind with thought is used to build character. So this model paves a path for students to know God profoundly, personally, and meaningfully. Students are encouraged to engage with the world in a way that continually uncovers God's creative acts. As the Quran mentions, they are guided to correlate these divine acts with his sacred names. This connection deepens their understanding and appreciation of God, making every discovery a step towards uncovering the divine names and attributes. This fits so well in the context of the subject matter that we're getting ready to demonstrate. Because we're going to learn, the true meaning about divine names and attributes as it relates to Kabbalah and Ancient Kemet. So this is what I was talking about earlier. In this, I have a link right here. You click it. Like I said, I'm going to send this out to our family so they can have it. And this actually gives you the whole manual of 5D thinking. It breaks it all the way down because there's a lot more to it than what I mentioned. I just gave, the straightforward measure. You see what I'm saying? Absolutely. So as I send this to you, see how I'm speaking on God, science, and character. Secular ideology. A lot of our people don't know in more science, when you get up at the top of the 12-step ladder, they don't know science and religion is mentioned together. Right or wrong, brother?
Absolutely.
Science and religion.
This one thing. It's one thing that our brother Sharif Anyabe always demonstrates is that what ones today is taught as science is not truly science. It's scientism, and it is synonymous with what the let's say the European nations have done with everything else, with the teachings of Jesus, even the teachings of Muhammad, as well as science itself, So it's basically colonized. So what we have to understand is that what ones mostly see or what mostly encounter that's called science is actually scientism and not science at all.
That's right. That's right. And people don't know when we talk about Ulam, I was mentioning earlier in the Hebrew and the Arabic. In the Hebrew, it actually says Ulam means the secrets behind the creation. In Ancient Kemet, they call that the halls of Amenti. Because Amenti, as I mentioned in our last live, meaning the hidden, represent that which cannot be seen with the carnal eye.
Absolutely.
You see what I'm saying? So this is what Ulam actually deals with, or ilm, or the knowledge. It deals with the knowledge that exists as it relates to creation and the hidden signs of creation. And that's where this 5D thinking come from, where we can begin to read the book of creation, and we understand, why in Ancient Kemet they use the term metal netta when they say language of God. You see what I'm saying? It all coincides. So yeah, this is the full measure. So you'll be able to click that once I get this over to the fam. Anybody who requested, and they can do deeper research in these areas. I gave these definitions because you have people that like to call people pseudo, and I gave these definitions so that people will know the mentality of certain people when we deal with people in this realm of knowledge. There's one that is known as what we call a monomaniac in personality. It's a person exhibits, that exhibits or exhibiting exaggerated or obsessive enthusiasm for or preoccupation with one thing, self-obsessed monomania. That means that they can't hear nothing outside of what it is that they have, and they'll fight you tooth and nail because you are not, in their mind, identifying with what it is that they represent. And this is what our people is suffering from greatly in the conscious community, and that's why there's so much religious gangbanging going on, because we have monomaniacs amongst our people. We don't say that to be funny. We just telling you so that you know what you're dealing with when you deal with see a personality characterized by an exaggerated or obsessive enthusiasm for or preoccupation with one thing. He rails against monomaniac passions, right? That's one. Then we have another mindset, which is known as sophomaniac or sophomania. And this is what we call a delusion of having superior intelligence. Remember, we was talking today, brother, 7, and I said, well, in our teaching, really, one understands that to know is to know that you don't know.
Absolutely.
Because you can continue to grow. Soon as you put it in your mind, you put a capstone on your mental pyramid, you can't grow no more. Thinking that where you at is the end all be all. No. The more you learn, the more you study, the more you keep researching. That's what I do. I can come into a grand mastery of a subject matter, and I'm going to keep studying that subject matter till I drop this physical guard.
Absolutely.
Because I don't become satisfied. When your mind becomes satisfied, that's when it's dangerous. So going...
Whoa, that's like they say, an idle mind is the devil's playground.
Devil's playground, brother. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
So what we have here, going now into our subject matter, notice it states the ancient Kemetic Eshed Part Neteru. And then you see I have Kabalah. And I actually united 3 words that are ancient Kemetic words. Ka, Ba, and Allah. What does Ka represent? It's the spiritual soul in Kemet. Ba represents another degree of that spiritual soul as well, but at a greater degree. We can just say it like this here: spirit clothed with soul, made in the form of Allah. That's how we teach it in our Moorish Holy Quran. What is that? The higher self, right?
Absolutely.
The higher self is spirit clothed with soul, Ka in Ba, made in the form of Allah. Remember I told y'all in the last live that Allah, Kemetically, this word here is known as Sekhet Anru. This is the place where we are told that Ra retired himself after dealing with the disobedience of the Kemetian, the people that just didn't get it. And they say he went into this field of reeds or field of peace. You see, he exiled himself. That's what Allah is. So Allah Kemetically represents a state of being, a state of existence. It also represents the divine being as well.
It also represents the hidden one.
The hidden one. So when we say Kabalah and we break it down this way, this is already letting you see certain elements that are present in Kemet in the prototype. Because that's what we mean when we say the attestation of, the Kabalah, the origins. The attestation means evidence of. We are showing that the evidence of Kabalah existed in ancient Kemet prior to the 12th and 13th century Kabalah that was created in Judaism. And we're going to prove it to you. I got the sources in this thing too at the end. Now what we see here are sarcophagus. This one is a depiction of the goddess. Look at that, brother 7. You see she has a sun above her head, right?
Absolutely.
And behind her, at the top of her head, you can see it's more like a pillar, behind her, so to speak. Now, if you look on each side of her, there are neters, different neters. All of them are different. Count this: 2, 4, 6, 8. The sun accounts for the other, so that's 9. Now, this is the foundation of the concept of tree of life. This tree of life is symbolic to the cosmic mother, right?
The mother.
the mother of virtues. See what I'm saying? And then you have the husbandman.
The husbandman.
Yes, sir. Notice this is a pillar. It's called the jet pillar. The jet pillar is also a tree of life. So between the God woman and God man, both of these have expression of what we call tree of life. The jet pillar Kemetically was known as the backbone of Asa. So now you hear, oh, you got to be a strong man. You got to have a strong backbone. Or some people say, you know, you a spineless human being when you ain't living by no morals or nothing, right?
Yes, sir.
So So you see the expression between the cosmic aspect of the universe and then the God man, which also represents an expression of the tree of life. Both of them do. So we don't give credit to one over the other. We're going to show you when we break this stuff down exactly what's said. And I want to give honors to our brother Muata Ashby, because this is his work, you know, dealing with an expression of the interrelationships of the gods and goddesses of ancient Kemet or Egypt. And he actually shows his version, which is really the Kemetic version. He put everything together, you know, and he show you not only, you know, that a special tree that deal with the common concept, you know, of ancient Kemet, with the deities that come into being, the Neteru that came into being, but he also puts the admixture of also the other cosmological expression, which some people would like to call Ennead, the nine, the company of the nine, and then one that is known as the Agduat, or the company of the eight. But even in the Agduat, Amun is the hidden one that is the head of the Agduat. You know, so he breaks this thing down, showing you the nature. And a lot of people have been misguided when it comes to dealing with, you know, these expressions here. They have been told by the Romans that these are a bunch of pagan deities and demigods. But what they don't know is that these are representations of divine principles, cosmic principles. You know, and this is the way our ancestors expressed them. So Asa represented a principle. It represented a station. Aset represented a principle and a station. You know, again, attributes, principalities, as they would call them, some people, are principles that are underlying in creation. So Asa was very real, because we know he represented resurrection. He represented many things, like Aset. She represented many things. And there were those who are humans that were able to personify these principles and make them real. Like I was talking earlier today. Remember we were speaking, unity is a word.
Absolutely.
But you don't see true unity until people come together in unity. So unity is abstract until people actually act on the unity. It's the same thing with love. Love is an abstract concept and principle until two people come together in love. Until a nation comes together, then you comprehend what love is. So when the great God Allah, for example, chooses to bring us truth, if that's what we prayed for, he gonna bring it to us through one of our brothers or sisters. He might bring it to us through a lesson to learn from even a child. Absolutely. Even a person that you may consider to be a bomb. You know, the great God Allah speaks to man through man.
Absolutely.
He speaks from behind a veil, according to the Quran, right?
Absolutely.
So that's what these principles represent. You know, so what we have here to get into the trees, like I say, I ain't gonna go into every slide, but what I will pull out will be dealing with, you know, these measures so we can get through the drawing. You know, the Nehet is one of the names that is used in reference to the tree that represent the cosmic mother. Remember I showed you the goddess. The Nehet. Nehet is a term that's used for the sycamore tree. It's also used for acacia, you know, and it's also used for the palm tree. All of them are referred to as Nehet or sacred trees. You see? So now, going into a portion just to run down, you know, because we talked about the per Neteru, you know, a part Neteru, pardon self. Now we going into detail. The sacred tree versus the cosmic tree in Kemet. So you see at the top here, the aspect, it says sacred tree, the tree of life, which is known as the per se tree. Then you have what you call the world tree, or the tree of the cosmos. You see? Then we go into the Egyptian name, the Ashet tree, or the Shet tree, linked to the per se tree, a Bak, as they say. Then we have the Jet tree, or what they call also the Ayusaset tree, you know, which is also connected to the Bimben, the pillar of the sky, and so forth and so on. So there's a connection between the Jet tree and the Ayusaset tree, the Jet tree being that of the masculine, the Ayusaset tree being the tree of the goddess. You know, but again, this is one also expresses Bimben and the pillar of the sky. So the primary function, and this is the Kemetic breakdown on the concept of a tree. Before we even get into the breakdown of the Sephiroth, this is the Kemetic teaching on the tree, because we want to cover that before we go into anything else. It represents a personal divine destiny of eternal life, spiritual nourishment, and royal legitimation. This is the sacred tree, cosmic tree. It represents the entire cosmos, cosmic order, Ma'at, and the structure of the universe linking heavens, earth, and the Duat. For those who don't know what Duat is, in cosmotic, Kemetic cosmotic, the same thing I was speaking of when I was talking about Amenti. When they say the underworld, they often depict the upper world, you know, which we call, you know, space or the universe. So then they have the realm. So the realm relates to the individual, and it also relates to the kingdom level. It also is linked to the pharaohs and the ancestors, the soul, Ba, and Ka.
Yeah.
Right?
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir. And then we have the universal level, and it maps out the four worlds of cosmic directions. You know, so we have the key deities, Nut, sky, mother, Het Heru, or Set, Tehuti, Ra, or Sa, as the giver of immortality. These deities represent association with the tree of life, the sacred tree. The architect of the cosmos under what we call the tree of the universe or the world tree, Ta, is associated with this. The architect of the cosmos, Ta, is a creator deity. Ra Atum, creator deity, primeval creator. Osa is also known as the axis of regeneration because he represents resurrection, death, resurrection, and rebirth. Then we have Geb, which represents the earth, and Nut in the heavens. So that's the connection between what we would call Malkut, you know, the earth, and Nut represent the heavens. But there's a connection between the tree. Go ahead, brother.
Go ahead, brother. I'm with you.
Okay. So we have the symbolic role, a tree of eternal life, where the names of the pharaohs and the gods are inscribed on its leaves for eternal remembrance. Now, this is a Kemetic teaching now, talking about the leaves and the names of the gods being inscribed. Now, don't this make you think about the Sephiroth? You know, when you think about the different names or words of power that are written in the tree of life. So this is a prototype. This is just dealing with the teachings on the trees in Ancient Kemet now. A world axis like the jet pillar supporting the heavens and representing the four cardinal points of cosmic balance. Right? That's under the sacred, the cosmic tree. Iconography depicted with the goddess emerging from the tree. And you're going to see some reflections I'm going to show you of these things. Pouring water and offering fruit to the king or deceased. Shown as a towering pillar-like tree over here dealing with the cosmic tree. Sometimes merging with the jet pillar, symbolizing stability of the cosmos. Now, these teachings, everything here predates Kabalah. This is Kemetic teaching now. It says the Eshed tree, often near cartouches. Now, you know what a cartouche is. they call these, like, this was named by your boy Champollion because he said they look like bullet shells, cartridges. And so they would say this is the name of kings, you know, but it's really, the word Kemetically is Shenu. Shenu actually means circle. You see, and within the circle, you see the names of kings and gods often depicted, you know, in the Medu Neter. So synonymously, though, with this tree, the tree of life that is shared, it is also, these cartouches are symbolic to the fruit upon the tree, of the Ba as the soul. You see what I'm saying? So then it says Jet, a Benben stone, over here dealing with the cosmic tree again, celestial stars intertwined with the serpent and bird motifs. Right? Then we have the spiritual path, you know, which deals with personal immortality and ascension. That's the purpose of the sacred tree, the soul's integration with divine order. Then we have the cosmic tree again, or the world tree, the universal ascent or cosmic renewal, the return to the primordial source. So the Kemetic tree, you mean to tell me, has to do with the soul being integrated with its divine order, also returning to the source? So this means that the tree of life, it had a function Kemetically that one could actually use to get close to nature. This is before the Kabalah, brought forth in the 12th and 13th century now. These are Kemetic teachings. Now, in relation to the Kabbalistic parallel, the tree of life, X-Cam, represents individual spiritual growth in the divine emanation through the Sephirot. The 10 circles, right? And we have the world tree, the Axis Mundi. Remember, the Axis Mundi is the point around which everything in creation pivots. It's the dot within the middle of the bot.
It's the pole.
Islam.
It's the pole.
That's the pole. That's right. They call it the Qutb.
The dot in the middle of the circle.
The dot in the middle of the bot. In Sufism, that's what they call it. Or they call it the Qutb. You know, which is the 12 Imam.
Yes.
You see, we can go. Yeah, it's all up in here.
Yes, sir.
It says, and it represents the structure of the entire universe, similar to the Norse Yggdrasil or the Hindu Ashvatha tree. So there is a tree of life tradition in every walk of life, from Hinduism to Buddhism to Sumeria. We're showing you Kemet now. And I'm saying that throughout even our teachings, whether we know it or not, and we're going to prove it by the time this is over with, we have a tree of life tradition even in the realm of more science.
Absolutely.
It's one that's in Sufism. It's one in Judaism. You know, it's one in Western occultism and Masonic teaching.
Absolutely.
There's a tree of life in all of these doctrines. So my thing is, for those who like to demonize the tree of life and say, oh, it deals with wickedness, you have to place these things in perspective. Because there is a Kabbalah that's spelled with the letter Q in reference to the Hermetic Kabbalah. There's a Kabbalah spelled with C, which mostly deal with westernized occultism, Christianity, you know, certain branches of Freemasonry. Then you have the K Kabbalah that deals solely with Judaism. You know, you see? So people have to know what it is that they are reading and what they are studying before they condemn a thing. You see, there are some things that have been amalgamated with things that they shouldn't be amalgamated with, and you're going to learn those things tonight. You know, but don't throw the baby out with the bathwater.
Please don't. Please don't.
No, don't do that. You know, so, and nobody can really, he who is without sin, let him cast the first stone, because everybody has a Kabbalah tradition, whether they know it or not.
And even in Muhammad's night journey, we hear them talk about a tree.
There you go.
Yes, sir.
And it's the sycamore, where they call it the lote tree of the utmost boundary, a lotus.
Yes, sir.
You know, as well. And you are right, brother. That tree is said to have 70,000 angels per branch. And they refer to them as 70,000 veils of light. Wow. You know, this is in the realm of what we call Sidrata Muntaha, the most frequently visited place. This is where the Kaaba of the heavens dwell, and this is where the angels are also making their ciphers or circles. They are circumnavigating or circumambulating the Kaaba. You know, this is being done, and it said when one rank of 7,000 leave, another one come forth. Ooh. This symbolism is powerful, dealing with the journey of Muhammad. Absolutely. On his Baruch into the heavens. You see? And so here we have it. You know, I had people when I presented this a few days ago, you know, in another environment, they was wondering, well, where's the sources and all this? Like I say, the sources is in the end of this measure. But, you know, the sources were actually in the demonstration. Problem is, some of our people just lazy and they want you to give them everything. They don't want to do the research. Right here it says where it all began and how it first showed up. The earliest pictures of the tree of life in old Kemetic art and writing go back to the Old Kingdom, time around 2686, 2181 BCE. All you got to do is Google it. You see what I'm saying? Absolutely. Even though I'm running it down in here, you know, you can see the sources when you go look it up. It said these early images are found in tombs, temple carvings, where you see the tree, often with branches full of fruit, showing plenty and life. For example, in the tomb of Pharaoh of Unas, the tree of life is a part of the writings used for burial, showing its role in the trip to the afterlife. Think of the tree like a picture showing how life and the nature are connected. There it go. It said these pictures weren't just nice art, but had deep religious cultural meaning, and they stood for food from the nature and the ongoing cycle of life, death, and coming back. Key points about these early pictures include where they are, found in tombs and temples, mainly from the Old Kingdom time. What they mean, show plenty of life and the divine order. Why they matter, show the link between the nature and the eternal life cycle. So this deep teaching on the tree of life in ancient Kemet, a lot of our people ain't even know this exists. You've been looking at Kemet the whole while, and ain't nobody really gave a breakdown on the concept of the tree of life in Kemet. How it changed over different dynasties. The way the tree of life looked and what it meant in ancient Egypt changed a lot through the years, reflecting changes in religion and art and styles. So this begins the evolution, you know, of the change of the tree and the representations and how they improved upon it. Just like one would improve upon a scientific methodology. And they like the Big Bang Theory. They said have one way, then they go to talking about Planck theory. And then years later, they come up with something. Our ancestors had a scientific methodology as it related to their interpretation or exegesis of this tree of life. Absolutely. And as they continued to evolve, they became more refined in the measure.
Sister Aket Kaba as honest and gratitude for the $20 super chat super sticker, but she also says examine the relationship of the redwood trees.
Well, they don't mention the redwood tree, you know, in the Kemetic doctrine that I've seen recently, but the redwood tree would have its own tradition, you know, wherever she may have found the redwood tree. You know what I mean? I'm pretty sure in reference to that tree, you know, it's a tree of life in a culture, you know, because, this thing go into Ephi, and it also goes into the Orishas. They had trees too. I'm going to just throw that out there, you know, for our sister.
And my
go ahead, brother.
Beloved, you know, my beloved Sheikh Mahdu Bamba, my beloved Sheikh Mahdu Bamba, Serene Tuba, Kadim Rasul, also speaks to the Mordians about the jelly bond tree.
That's right. That will be their tree of life. You know, and I studied a lot of that too, because a lot of my DNA come up out of the Sierra people. You know, so yeah, my DNA came across the Sahel from Sudan. You know, I'm sub-Saharan, 65% sub-Saharan West African, and my DNA from my ancestors traveled straight across Africa, basically, into what we call the door of no return, Dakar. You see, that's where the slaves were taken from, the Moors, the Mari. But yes, sir.
Okay.
So this is running down what I already said earlier. It's just giving the name, telling you the Middle Kingdom. So like I said, you can see the silhouette of the goddess as a representation of the tree here. So, you know, I ain't gonna go over that. This is really giving, you know, a breakdown on the dynasties again, really saying the same thing. It tell about, you know, the key develops in the depiction and the significance of the tree. You know, again, showing plenty in divine in order in the tombs of temples, tied with nature like Hathor or Het Heru, giving food to the dead. This is the goddess, a big symbol in beliefs, meaning life, death, which is rebirth linked with all Saw and all Set. You know, in the late period, 664 up into the Ptolemaic period, 333. A lot of people don't know. That's when the Kemetic rule pretty much came to an end, and you know, Alexander the Greek and them was sliding up in there. You know, and the actual last pharaoh came forth in 360. You know, and that 360 BC, you know, represent 360 degrees of knowledge, if you ask me, completion. When that last pharaoh came to rule 30 years after your boy and them come in there, the Ptolemies and all that. You know what I mean? So Tree of Life still had a big religious meaning, but the way it is shown, or was shown, became more formal and uniform. The tree often appeared in a more set and stylized way, mirroring the time's art style. Throughout these times, the Tree of Life stayed a strong symbol of life, death, and the nature being connected. For a clear view of these changes, the table below offers a summary of key developments and how the Tree of Life was shown and what it meant across different Kemetic periods. Remember, this is way before this Judaic Tree of Life coming to manifest. You know, we already know that we done established that it's a symbol of immortality and rebirth, you know, and dealing with the cycles, you know, coming back to life. You know, unlike a plant that grows and dies each year, it shows the forever cycle of living and dying, starting fresh. You know, this symbol is shown clearly in the story of Asa, the Neteru of the afterlife, who was brought back to life with his wife all set after being killed by his brother Sutek. All of this is symbolic to a principle in the tree. So again, we went into the food and all that and the drink. That's pretty much saying the same thing, but it also goes into a detail of the link to the Kemetic Neteru and the Netert. The Tree of Life in old Kemetic stories is very connected with important Neteru and Netert, each showing different parts of life and death. Again, coming back to life, also Neter of the afterlife is often shown near the Tree of Life, showing his role in dying and coming back to life many times. Who was the first person that Yehoshua was reincarnated?
Muhammad the first.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
Yeah, so, you know, we even have here Het Heru, you know, the Netert of love and making babies. There's another god connected with the Tree of Life. She's often shown as a sycamore tree, as we talked earlier, giving food and shelter to dead souls, you know, and showing her role as a caring life giver. This is the mother as a nurturer, this tree, this cosmic tree, Mother Nature. You see? And you can see her here pouring out libation. I got some clear pictures of this into the cup of this priest. You know, you see the ba and the ka expressions here. Absolutely. You know, so it says these pictures not only show the Tree of Life importance in the Kemetic universe ideas, but also show the connected roles of the nature in the cycle of life and death and coming back to life. By knowing these links, we understand more about the tree of life's meaning in old Kemetic religion and its lasting mark in their art and stories. So it goes into different measures on the role that it played in funerals, you know, how they used it in tomb setups and special acts, and the dead, you know, how it led them to their trip of the afterworld. We went into that earlier. Tomb walls, where it shows pictures of the tree of life again, branches full of fruit, roots deep in the ground, showing more the promise of the forever life and new beginnings. So we know about this, you know, but it also deals with pictures that represent the Heka that was chanted to help the dead cross over. And what we call the Amdua. You know, the Pert Imheru, a group of invocations, chants, often talked about the tree of life telling the dead how to get its life-giving waters and fruits. By using the tree of life in their funeral ways, the old Kemetian people of Kemet repeated their belief in the endless nature of life and death and forever the journey of the soul. So these are powerful messages. This is saying the same thing, how they had different celebrations, you know, so they would, you can see, like you see them gathered here around the tree, you know, the pet festival, you know, which celebrated the renewal of the ruler, or what we call the Pert Alt Nasut, you know, bit, you know, of Kemet, you know, and it represents the Neteru, and the tree of life is often showing parades and temple acts showing newness and godly favor. In the same way, the Hepsed festival, many of us may have heard of that here, there, you know, a big event marking ongoing rule of the Par Altness, again, is the tree of life being the key to ceremony, standing for the Par Altnessut's link to the Neteru, the link of the pharaoh to the gods, and his role in keeping world order, Ma'atic order. You know, so we see now an expression of Nut, the universe. We see rays coming forth and shining forth as Neteru. This is the prototype of Neter coming forth in the way that we would see the Sephiroth come forth in the modern day Kabalah that came forth in the 12th and 13th century. We're going to prove this to you. We're going to show you the first model. We even had a drawing that deals with, in Christianity, how the tree of life pops up in the book of Genesis. In the book of Revelation, tree of life is mentioned in Quran. If you were to place a tree of life diagram over Africa, you will see that it touches Rome, you know, the areas where you go high up into the north, Istanbul, you know, Turkey, Babylon, Giza, Mecca, Khartoum, you know, all the way down here into Zimbabwe. You know, if you look at this here. So when they say the tree of life was placed within the midst of the garden, they really don't know what they've been talking about. You see what I'm saying? Right there before them all the while. You know, so there's a tree, you know, and notice it's running right through there in the Garden of Eden. What does KABAahLAH mean? The Garden of Eden. Who gave it that name? The Moors. I got a whole video I did on that. And people don't know that KABAahLAH actually goes back to Geb, because Geb represents the earth. In Kemet, G is interchangeable with the letter K in sound shifting, phonetics. KABAahLAH. So, you know, when you go into this drawing,
demonstrate.
Yeah. So its role in modern spirituality and self-help, and this is the last one where we're dealing with a bunch of reading per se here. You know, we got some more measures, but they're shorter. Like I say, I was going to move through them so we can get into the grand drawing. So it says, in today's spiritual practice, self-help activities, the tree of life is a deep sign of connectedness and overall well-being, much like a guide for self-growth and emotional development. Some people see the tree of life as a picture of their path to self-learning and higher understanding, with its roots showing grounding and steadiness and its branches reaching for higher awareness and spiritual rise. For example, in meditation and quiet reflection, people often picture the tree of life to bring about a feeling of calm and balance, linking their body, feelings, and spiritual self. Also, in self-betterment books, the tree of life is often mentioned as a way to talk about achieving balance and good life. See, these were the moral lessons that I was talking about earlier. Stressing the need to care for all parts of oneself. This old sign lasting meaning, it says, in today's time shows its wide appeal and how it can push for overall well-being and connectedness in today's busy world. So if people like, well, what is the purpose of the tree of life and all this knowledge going to do? Self-mastery. Self-mastery allows you to have a better life, a peaceful life. You don't think that that's value or it should be valued? Something is wrong with one if they don't think that self-mastery and being able to master the self and become more peaceful and harmonious. If you think you ain't getting nothing out of that, then we understand that you got a real materialist mindset. And that's that demonstration we was talking about earlier.
Absolutely.
You know? So it's a how it influenced later ideas and beliefs. The idea of the tree of life has greatly shaped later thought and faith traditions, including Kabbalah Christianity, much like a basic idea that changes and fits into different belief systems. In Kabbalistic practice, the tree of life is a main sign showing the 10 separate or divine lights through which the endless God shows himself, and always make both the physical world and a series of the higher unseen worlds. This deep view matches the Kemetic tree of life job to linking the skies and the earth and the underworld. You see, and last but not least, Natert Eusaset, the goddess, one of the most ancient Kemetic Natert, her name literally means utterer of words, conceiver of worlds, Auset. This is one of the forms of Auset. And she is now considered one of the 10,000 faces of Auset, the fairest among 10,000 altogether lovely. You know who that is, don't you?
Yeah.
Stars. Yes, sir. You know.
Hey, listen,
yes,
Sister Get Kaba S. Aunt says, in honest and gratitude for the $10 super sticker, she says, who are the parents of the Moors?
Oh, the parents of the Moors are the ancient Damari. For those who don't know who the Damari are, that's the ancient name that's referred to the Moorish gods. You know, the Moorish gods is who we descend from. And the Moorish gods honored Amun-Ra before the Islamic period. You know, so also the name Mar, which is the root of the word Damari, the Moorish gods, goes all the way back to Amun-Ra. It's one of his names, M-A-U-R. It also, Amun-Ra represents the hidden light that became manifest. So this word Mar, Hebraically connects to when it says light shone from darkness. This light pierced the womb of the universe, just as we come forth from the womb of the God woman. But this light is known as Ma'or, M-A-O-R, in the book of Genesis, Ore. This Ma'or or Ore being the light that manifested itself. If you go into the sound shift, you find that M-A-U-R and M-A-O-R is not different at all. And so we descend from the gods and goddesses.
There's not a lot of light of the heavens and the earth.
Yeah, that's right. Allah is the light of the heavens and the earth. And what are the heavens? That's your mind, your thought pattern. What is the earth? This earthbound body. Allah is the light.
Also the heart.
That's right. That's right. Not the blood pumping organ, but the heart above your neck. Islam, where's the nearest place we can meet it?
In the heart.
That's right. That's your chamber. Or the chamber of the Adept, the true chamber. Yeah, so, you know, it goes and say that she was sent. This was a form of Auset, being the great one who came forth and was considered the grandmother of all the Kemetic Necheru, except her husband, the sun. god, or tomb. Ayusa set is depicted wearing the Kemetic vulture crown with the Uraeus, cobra, and solar disc between two horns, similar to the appearance, and this is actually being depicted right here. It says in the Neterts, Herua, Hathor, and Aset. Ayusa set was also associated with the acacia tree, the tree of life. The oldest acacia tree was believed to be owned by Ayusa set and also located just north of Heliopolis, Anu, It states there was the belief that all the Neterts and Neter were born beneath the acacia tree. The fruit don't fall too far from the tree. in the Per M Heru, it says,
tree?
You see, the universal tree, the tree of cosmology, the tree of life, the KABAahLAH. Why was spirit man given a soul? Ka, that he might function upon the plane of soul. Why was he given a body of flesh? That he might function upon the plane of things made manifest. The science is right there, man, and our people overlook it. So it speaks on the acacia tree of the children, probably referring to the divine children of Ayusa said again, the Netert and Neter that are born beneath the sacred acacia. So here we have depictions now. Now that we went into a lot of the reading, you see the goddess pouring libation. Pointed out toward the bar here, in the case, the soul of the goddess. You see what I'm saying?
Absolutely.
And now here's another one. A goddess is giving gifts, like they was talking about in the celebrations, giving it to the god man and the god woman that's sitting upon the throne. The goddess is literally coming out of the trunk of the tree. This is powerful symbolism. You see, here's another one where the goddess is pretty much a part of the tree and pouring forth again to the Ba, the soul of the priest. And the priest is receiving, that water of life that we talked about earlier. Remember?
Mm-hmm.
You see?
Absolutely.
Giving forth the fruits of life. Here's a goddess, and this is very unique because she is actually pouring unks out in symbolic forms of water. So the waters of life, libation. Yeah, we can't make this up, man.
Can't make this up.
Yeah, and if you think them just art pictures, we had to hit them with. This drawing right here, brother, with TTHE standing up here. And these were the cartouches. You see him inscribing the names of the gods or the deity. You see him right there?
Mm-hmm.
Like fruits. But these leaves represented the gods and the principles of the cosmos. This is the cosmic tree. This is Ramesu or Ramesses. You can also see Sekhmet. The lioness. Right here. So like we cannot make this up. This is the primary source, the wall. It's right there in front of you. What are you talking about? Where's the source? Here's another one. Even though I'm gonna show them sources in the end of this, but this is the source right here, left in the wall. Look at Ramesu again with TTHE again with the pen, and then he got Ta in front of him now. What does TTHE represent? Divine mind.
Yeah.
What does Ta represent? The creator, the architect of the universe kemetically.
And when we start talking,
so the principles.
We start talking about the letter Ta.
There you go. Oh, wait till we get into that. We finna jump into that. Now, the crazy part about this, brother, it's crazy that Ta, the principle of the universe here, TTHE, the mind, this would be the thought of Ta in action in the tree of life on the manifest. And you can see Ramesu, look at his hue. Because this is Ramesses the second. I'm said to be a descendant of Ramesses the third. Which would have been his son, right?
So you're a descendant of Ramesses the second.
Yeah, all of that, right? So, and not only me, but most of us are.
Yeah.
If you share the E1B1A gene, which most of us do, you have this in your DNA. You know, but here's the ancestor receiving, you know, from the tree of life. See, King Ramesses II between Ta and Tehuti. And this is in the Abu symbol temple, where they get their concept of Mount Rushmore from. You know the temple of Abu symbol where you see the deity sitting up there?
Yes, sir.
4 of them. Yeah, that's it. Now this is where we get into it. Since we talking about the tree of life, we might as well go on head into the science of life. That's what I'm talking about. It ain't strange that we call DNA, you know, when we dealing with it, mitochondrial DNA, all of it, we call it what? The tree of genealogy, the genealogical tree. They talking about, oh, this represent a twisted flax, a twisted rope for Ta. What Ta need? Okay, we can call it the golden cord of love if we wanted to. But
we got you now, Zen Eastscene TV. We got you. They sending their emails so they can get them PDFs.
Yes, sir. And yes. I'm going to definitely send it to y'all, you know. And my email is egyptianadept@gmail.com. You know,
well, so that, you know, you can send it to me and I'll send it to
you. And I'll do that right. I'll send it to you and you can blast it to them. Yes, so sir. We have also on the wall here another version of the tree. But you see, I infused it with the DNA double helix symbol. This tree of life is also a ladder that leads to the heavens. Watch this.
You know, you notice that DNA strand that you had. Go back up.
It's the God code.
You got 3 steps.
Yes, sir. Now watch this. That's right, 3 steps on it. And this is coming from the Temple of Efu. What do you mean I ain't giving you no source? I told you where it come from. I mean, that's what they were saying. And this is why I say our people petty, bro. They petty. You know, the ones that be want to play. You know, so it says our ancestors taught on the God code many ages ago, right? I created this a minute ago. Now pay attention to this. Notice it says the ancient Tehutian etymology of the mother tongue. Tara. Tara, he who commits creation into being as the giver of life, right?
Mm-hmm.
Now, when you go into the breakdown on this, we have Mudarik, or Arabic, which is Dara, and then we have Mu'abik, a Kanana, a Canaanite, which is Zara. You see how the sound shift goes? Tara, Zara, Zara. This is the Kemetic word, meaning he who commits creation into being as the giver of life. This is the cause. Well, guess what? Right. The words in the Arabic and Hebrew is the effect.
And you know, in the moderated order under the Shechem Bamba, we have what is called Friday Night Dara.
See what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
And Dara means atom, seed, offspring, progeny. So if the Tara means he who commits creation into being as the giver of life, then it is Ta, you know, who manifests his seed and offspring and progeny. This is the, again, Arabic and the Hebrew, same definition: semen, offspring, descendants, posterity, children. Why is it that these words, though they are the effect of the cause, why are they so connected with Kemetic root? The proof is in the language.
Come from the same language.
Coming from the same root in language. Now here's the expression, and we can explain this quickly metaphysically with the Circle 7 methodology that the prophet taught us. When it tell you contemplate the meaning of the hieroglyphs.
Absolutely.
That's our methodology.
Yes,
that's the Moorish methodology. And that is the actual methodology that was on the manifest before Champollion come with that old trash he started doing. Because Heropalo, who was the last Egyptian high priest, he tell you these things are metaphysical. They are symbolic. So what is the symbolism? If this is Ta, planting his wasp, his staff of power within the cosmos, he is the one that spoke creation into being. When he speaks, vibration is on the manifest. Every word he speaks is spirit. And the world better take heed. So from the vibration of the words that he brought forth, If you see the semicircle, it represents the rising of life. And that life manifested into materialized form, and this 4 represent the material elements. And then creation began to come into being. What are these elements? Earth, air, water, fire, ether. What do we call them here? Hydrogen, nitrogen, oxygen, carbon. Those are the basic building blocks of creation. Wait a minute. Hanak, Enoch. Oh my God. Aknuk. Well, we say that.
You start talking about Enoch, well, you start touching on
yeah
degree right here.
Didn't they say he went to third heaven?
Yep.
They don't know whether it was in the body or not. He was in body, but he wasn't in the body that our people come and think the body is.
Yes.
So, we know TTHE and Enoch is the same person, brother. In Islamic teachings, he's the same one known as Hermes Trismegistus, Parmandris. Don't let me go there. So this is the ladder of life that comes as a manifestation of one who manifested life. Remember the dot in the middle of the circle? Kemetically, that's Ra, Tara. The hidden that became manifest. Now Terra. And this is where we actually get into some real stuff. Remember I told you how light manifested as Ma'or, and Mar. Do you know what this symbol represents in the hand of the Netzeru that's coming forth from this prototype in the chart of the tree? 2, 4, 6, 8. Autumn is at the top. So this is the concept of the tree of life as it begins to now become a chart form. Notice the circle is being used, synonymous with the universe. This is a sun that, pretty much rises. It comes up again. This is a cycle. This is the sun in the early morning. This is the sun in midday. And this is the sun at its peak. You see, so this is a cycle. But when you look at this here, what they have in their hands, look at this. People don't know. Guess what that is? It means mirror. You know what mirror means? Yes, sir. M-E-R.
More.
That's right. That's right. It goes back to Mar. Remember I said the light, pierced the veil of the darkness. Yes, sir. More, but guess what the word means? Love.
Absolutely.
It means love, family.
Absolutely, beloved.
So love is what brought things into creation. So you see the goddess is pouring libation upon the circle. This is symbolic to the universal womb, brother.
Absolutely.
This is symbolic to the pentacle. Go ahead.
As love is the only savior of the world, love is also
the creator.
The creator. Absolutely.
Yes, sir. And so these are the prototypes of life that exists within the womb of creation, or the universe of creation, through which everything will come. And this is your prototype of the Sephiroth. You see? Of the tree of life. Right here in Kemet. Kabalah, Kabaah of Allah. There it is. Now, this is what removes all doubt here, brother. See this here? We can't make this up. I had this in there, but they still didn't get it. The source is right here, brother. Look at the year. Hermopolis, the creation of godly family tree. See, it says Nun, Nunet, Hu, Huhet, Ku, Kuket, Amin, Aminet. Amun is at the head of this particular tree. But guess what? This tree concept was created after the Ennead. The Ogdoad was created after the Ennead, even though the Ogdoad is dealing more with the underlying principles of cosmology, in the universe that has existed with potential existence before it became manifest. Because after dealing with the Ennead, they improved upon their concept. And then they brought that forth. That's why you see the Ogdoad coming forth after, the Ennead, which are the 9. The company of the 9, the Helipolitan Ennead right here. See? Your Autumn, which is where they get their atom from, is no different than when you go into the scientific methodology and you deal with the Big Bang, and then they go to tell me, oh no, we call it the Big Crunch now, because they're improving their science. Well, this is proof that our ancient ancestors were improving upon their science. Because after they understood that, yeah, we come from Altoon, which is where they stole the concept atom from, you know, and Shu, Tefnut, moisture, you know, these are all elements.
Yes, sir.
You know, but what preceded that, once they had this knowledge, they improved upon their cosmology, and they say, okay, Noonan, who and who had? This is space and time, infinity and matter, and so forth and so on.
Mm-hmm.
Now they got something to work with.
Yeah. They improved their paradigm.
They improved their paradigm. That's why you see that tree coming. You know, so it says the Theban, you know, creation, or the godly family tree, because actually at the head of that particular tree of the Agduad, you will see Ta at that tree, and Amen, you know, Atum and Amen, Ray and Amen, you will see them there. These represent different reincarnations of Amen. You see? Powerful. Now look, it says the tree of life as a creation symbol. The old Kemetic stories, the tree of life is a strong sign of how things started, showing the link between the sky, ground, and the world below. See it as a big bridge that connects these places, letting life and godly power move through. The tree is often shown with underground roots, a trunk on land, and branches going up to the sky, showing all life is connected. Kemetic stories on how things begin tie the tree of life to the first land that rose from Noon's chaotic waters, seen as the start of all life. This tree is also tied to the god Atum, who made the first nectar in the turf from its branches. Key points about tree of life as a symbol of how things started include the realms of connection, shows the link between the sky and the ground and the world below, the first land, tied to the life rising from Noon's chaotic waters, the creation stories that link to the god Atum making up the first Neteru. So that became this. The Heliopolitan Ennead, look at Atum. Now you know the charts of the tree of life. Tefnut, Shu, Nut, Geb, Aset, Asa. Also Nebhet and Set. 2, 4, 6, 8, 9. That's a tree of life right there, family. That's why we're saying this is the prototype that existed before the 12th and 13th century of Judaism and their Kabbalah, even though that Kabbalah too was created by more. But that's neither here nor there. The funerary or the quaternary, which is Duamatef, Imset, these are the children of Heru. Kepsenuf, and Happy. You know, so when we look at these represent the 4 quadrants. You know? Y'all know I circle them all up in there.
Absolutely. You see it.
Angels moving from the center to the outer bounds, bro.
And
carrying the messages to the 4 corners of the universe. Go ahead,
and if
bro.
we're paying attention, we see them tools in the symbolism too. Right.
And notice they say the world of Rostar. If you know what Rostar is, that's really the Amdua. Then they show the Dendera triad. Het Heru, and they seed I. This is a seed being born. This is manifest life coming through Malkuth, as they would call it. You see? So this prototype of the tree of life most definitely existed in Kemet. Here it is again, Atum the creator, Shu, air, moisture, earth, hill, Gib, sky, Nut, Asa, Isis, and Osiris, Set, Nephthys, you know, and Heru. Same tree that I just showed you, but just a different way. That's your tree of life. Now here's the Hermopolitan Ogdoad, the 8. See, I told you earlier we was talking, remember I was talking about how the trees of life, you have one that come through the 8, even though at the 8, the hidden one is Amun. You know, so he really make the 9, but in the teaching of doctrine, you will find some people draw off just the 9, or some draw off the 8. You know, some draw off the Ennead, some draw off the Agduad.
Right.
But also, we know in Islamism, they draw for both of them. in the teachings of Sufism, because they talk about the 8 that surround the throne of Allah. Where do you think they get that from? When you get into Sufism and you go to talk about the Arsh, why did Prophet Noble Drew Ali say, I'm going to take you up above the sun, moon, and stars around the almighty throne, Arsh of Allah? Huh? Make it make sense.
Make it make sense. Let's talk to him.
So, Noon and Nunet, Kuk and Kuket, Hu and Huhet, Ma'at and Jehuti. The world of Manu. This is the solar triad, Saptit, Ra, and Kepri. We know what Saptit represents. You know, this is Sothis. You know, often a deity that has the star, the 5-pointed star, as a headdress. This is Ra, the sun deity. All of them in boats. Notice the boat looked like a scimitar too. Kepri, representing life.
Or
so man, this is all.
Or that Ashkabon.
That's right, that Ashkabon. That's right. So now we have a drawing here.
Ooh.
Somebody done got struck down. Zigzag zig is our 5%. Hey, yeah. So
hey,
we got.
Hey yo, you brought that one out the ethers, bro.
That's what I'm telling you. That's what it is. I mean, it don't get no plainer than the truth. This is where your cherubim and seraphim. They say Lucifer was a cherubim. You know, when he was Lucifer, he was a good guy. He was upright. Yeah. But then when he got struck down, because he said, I'm going to exalt my throne above the stars of God. I'm going to be like the Most High. You was already like that. And so when he got cast down,
coming into place.
Yeah. So now, whereas one represents love, truth, peace, freedom, and justice, what? Give me some name for the children of Adam and Eve. Lucifer, Satan, devil, dragon, beast. And these are degrees. You fall from Lucifer.
They what?
You become Satan. And then you go with your satanic ways and be devilish and spread them. And then you get drugged on down into the abyss of your lower self. And now you in beast mode.
Yeah.
Lucifer, you know, Satan, devil, dragon, and beast. He struck him down.
Lower than the beast of the field.
Zigzag, zig.
Yeah. Lower than the beast of the field, right?
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
You know, so okay, all these are really just pictures now, because we pretty much heading and closing out the demonstration. But I just would like to show you the various trees that were created. This is a Kemetic one. Obviously, you can see how they go into all of the names of everything here. You'll be able to do that on your own, because it'll take too much time for us to give an exegesis on all of that. But you get the concept. You get the concept. The tree of life existed in ancient Kemet before it became something that exists in the 12th and 13th century. This is, again, a tree of life that we showed you of our brother Mu'ata Ash. We want to give honors to that brother. Him and brother Ra'u Nefer Amen.
Honors to him.
You know, for creating this, because they're the only ones that actually begin to teach on the tree. You know, look at it.
Question.
Go ahead, brother.
Do you have a PDF of the staff of Moses?
Yeah, I do.
Hey man, could you please send that to me? I will.
Yes, I will.
I am so inspired to read that now.
I'm gonna give it to you, ASAP Rocky. You know, when I send this to you, I'll send that too.
Yes.
You know, see, this is Ra'u Nefer Amen's chart. You know, and it's very powerful.
Got the name Paul from. It seems like they got the name Paul from right there, didn't it?
From Paul Neteru.
I'm just tripping, man.
I know you kicking it.
But you never know.
With a little you never know. Ain't nothing wrong with a little humor.
Yes, sir.
You know what I mean?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Now, what you're gonna find is that I linked our 42 paths of Moorish wisdom to the work of Brother Ra'u Nefer Amen. I mapped it that way.
Oh man.
You know, you're gonna see it in a minute once I get down to the bottom. See how you have Asar, Seket. This is the concept of Sheik. Seket and Shechem you know, the seat of understanding, the will of God. And you're going to see, because it linked to my website too.
Shake 'em and shake.
That's right. You know, that's like the word shakum or sheka in Arabic. It means all powerful. That's where the word sheik come from. Shaka. See the ab and the vision. You can see the silhouette, you know, or we'll say the image of the man in the tree in a meditation pose when you look at it. You see, so divine justice, celestial government, Ma'at Het Heru Sabek, the celestial workers, all set. And then when you get down to the bottom, you got Gi. This is the physical world. This existed, this tree, like I said before, they came up with the Sephiroth, you know, in Judaism. You can't even, that's it. The jig is up.
Absolutely.
They're right there. Come on, man. So you mean to tell me you gonna call this, you know, pseudo science fiction? Come on, man. Stop the madness. Stop the madness. This right here.
Honest and gratitude to the sister. I can't Kaba as aunt. She's been doing so much supporting in the chat. Honors and gratitude to you. Honors and gratitude for that super dot, that $20 super sticker.
We give honor to them goddesses for supporting. That's right.
Yeah, and she's in the chat, just she's right along with us. You know what I'm saying? She's right along with us. Amen.
Oh yeah.
And the chat on fire. Yeah.
Yeah, we know that's what we supposed to do. We supposed to set our people's soul on fire with love and holy zeal.
Absolutely.
You know what I mean? If the truth don't set you on fire with love and holy zeal, then you dead.
Yes, sir. You know what, brother?
In need of resurrection. Go ahead, brother.
We're gonna just for the sister, okay, Kaba as we're gonna do a show just for you.
For sure.
Just for you, because
for sure.
You're new to the channel, but you came in absolutely
on fire.
Showing support, on fire, and we love that. So we're gonna come back with a show just for you. Put something in the comment that you would like to hear us talk about, or hear the brother Kemetian Adept Heruphant talk about, and we'll cater that to you. We appreciate your love and support.
Yeah, we will. Yes, sir. This is our love language.
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir. So yeah, man. So these are basically just running through the trees now. This is also Raul Nefer's work here. You know, it's just giving different breakdowns. So what I did do, now I came to my premise.
Oh, let's go. I like this.
I put it together.
Yes,
so now, like I say, we see that the tree was already present in Kemet. We see that the diagram derived from the Agduad and the Imniad, but we also see that KABAahLAH come from Kemet. The soul and the spirit clothed with soul, made in the form of Allah. And Allah represents a state of being, a state of consciousness, Kemetic. So KABAahLAH, how does it break down? KABAahLAH. Ka represents the vital essence of divine life force, spiritual double. Then we have Ba, which represents the soul consciousness, the personal spirit that journeys between the worlds. Remember, Muhammad himself traveled on the Baruch. In Arabic, there's a measure when Allah talk about creating man, a word known as Basharin. This means the good body. This is the vehicle or the vessel in which one is able to travel. So we have Allah as a symbol of the start, a glorified spirit, immortal, luminous being, perfected state of divine existence. On to the lega on hitter. So in definition, Kabalah represents the total unity of being, the divine process through which the vital essence, Ka, and the personal soul, Ba, are purified, harmonized, and ultimately transformed into the glorified eternal spirit, Allah. It signifies the ascended consciousness, where the physical, spiritual, and divine aspects of existence merge into a single perfected state, the eternal light body of the divine self. Oh my God.
The dot in the middle of the circle.
The dot in the middle of the bot.
Yes,
You
sir.
know, so
And guess
you
what,
know,
man?
yes,
So
sir.
they say everything in the universe is contained in the ba.
That's right. That's right. You know, so when you get into the mystical structure of Kabbalah, this term embodies a threefold path of evolution. KABAahLAH. What is Ka again? The life force, divine spark, root energy animating the body. Symbolism, foundation, vitality, connection to the physical world. The Ba, soul consciousness, astral traveler, meditator between matter and spirit, the line that unites divinity and
Divinity
what?
and matter.
Journey, personality, transformation. Allah, the perfected divine light body, immortal and eternal. Completion, enlightenment, divine unity. Now, this teaching that existed in Kemet prior to, again, I got to keep saying it so they get it. Because if I don't, and I give them some cushion, they're going to try to take advantage of the situation. So, you know, I got to go ahead and go there, Brother Self. I hate to be redundant. You know what I mean? But I got to keep saying that this predates the 12th and 13th century. And I shouldn't even have to tell you this. We know Kemet is 3,000, 4,000, 5,000 years older than the 12th and 13th century. What are you doing? Stop it. Goodness gracious. You know, watch this. Full definition of Kabbalah. Kabbalah is the cosmic formula of ascension, uniting the power of the body, Ka, the freedom of the soul, Ba, and the glory of the eternal spirit, Allah, into one total state of divine harmony. It represents the living tree of life within each being, guiding the initiate, from the material realm to the celestial plane, and ultimately to the union with the infinite source.
Boy, that's a beautiful break, man.
Huh?
That's a beautiful
And it
break.
says mystical etymology. Ka, root, force, physical vessel, foundation of existence. Ba, traveler, intermediary between the seen and unseen realms. Allah, completion, starlight from eternal glorification. It began to emanate from you. You got that divine drip.
Oh, yeah.
You know, it says, KABAahLAH, the path of the ascended being, cycle of the death, life, death, and transformation or rebirth in the divine being. So, you know, this is pretty much saying the same thing here, talking about the four worlds, though, from Ta, which is the earth, you know, from Ta to Allah. You know, the initiate travels inward and upward.
Wata Allah. Subhanahu Wata Allah.
Mami Wata.
Mami Wata.
Yes, sir. Ta, matter in action. Ka, life force, spiritual form. Netaru, divine archetypes and gods. Netaru. Allah, eternal divine light and unity with the source. Linking your will up with the deific will.
Absolutely.
What? So, Egyptian tree of four worlds, Ta, which is Asia. That's what that represented in Judaic Kabbalah. Asia is the earthbound plane. Ta, it states the human realm where divine sparks experience individuality challenges in the physical plane. See, there's a reason why it say, you know, in the 101s, it sends the Adam Eve, Asiatics and Muslims. Because Asiatic deal with the earthbound aspect of the body, but the Muslim is the higher self. That's the God self in you.
Higher self and lower
self. So you can be Asiatic and not be a Muslim.
Right. And it also represents, you know, of course, higher self and lower self.
Higher self and lower self. There you go.
You know, yes, sir.
Yes, sir. That's why we say Lucifer, Satan, devil, and dragon, and beast in the 102. We tell you exactly who they are.
Absolutely.
You know, so Ka, the energetic double, where the spiritual blueprints are given, formed, and animated with vitality. Netaru, the realm of the gods, where the cosmic laws, archetypes, intelligent and govern creation. Allah, again, the source realm, unity with the eternal shining ones, pure light and transcendence. This is Kabbalah. symbolic mapping, really saying the same thing. So we don't really have to go over that again. You know, now we are going into the closing of the pictures. This is very important.
Hold up,
Pay
bro.
up close.
Whoa. Wait a minute. Wait a minute, bro.
I told you about that jet pillar, brother.
Well,
I told you.
You didn't
That
do
tree of
this.
life. Yes,
Bro,
sir.
you didn't
Look
do
at that.
this.
Look at
Oh,
that.
man.
You see them branches coming off that tree?
Oh, my God.
That control every aspect of your body. Study it well, and you can learn how to heal yourself. All these showing you what connect to certain aspects of ailments in your body.
Let me tell you what
when you get into the central nervous system. Go ahead, brother.
It says Sallallahu Allah Muhammad.
That's exactly what it's saying. Now watch this. See the goddesses? What they doing? You see they got the symbol of the sebit or the amduat, and look at what they guard. Lord, the wings for the believer. Goodness gracious.
Ooh.
See that? You see the jet pillar?
Yes, sir.
You know?
Yes, sir.
And if you were looking at this dealing with man,
oh man.
Look at that. Now here's the other one.
Man.
A clear version. Look what it says. In the teachings of the ancient Egyptian mystery, the structure of all multidimensional reality is revealed in the body of its deity. The Netta Osiris, it says here the jet pillar represents the spine of Osiris. Remember I told you it represents his backbone? Representing the ladder to the imperishable stars. You know what the imperishable stars is, bro?
Okay.
That's the Big Dipper rotating around that star. The symbol that the prophet brought us as an adept symbol.
And then also it says up.
The Archbone.
He said he would take us up in the apparatus. Up around the, around.
Now, if they think it's a game that we just making this up, brother Self, if they think we playing, look at what come up out of the coffin text. I am the one that becomes two. The two that becomes four. And the four that becomes 8.
And
I do add.
I am
in
the
the
one.
add. And after that, I'm the one again. That's the cycle of coming into being, the tree of life, coming from our moon, all the way down, our tomb all the way down. And it's the cycle. You see what I'm saying? So, like, we can't, look at this. Same thing. The goddesses lowering their wings. Look at what it says. Coming up from the bottom, they got the chakra chart included over here. Look, it says 9 Egyptian light bodies. Mankind, initiates, extended ones, creators of form, perfected beings, creators in spirit, oversoul, creator beings, the plane, cosmos, creator supreme being. You're going from the root all the way up the shoot. Hey, that's what they call the branches. Shoots that come off of the branches.
Yes,
so here it is. Again, the cosmic tree, Jed World Tree. We almost done, family. Y'all gonna love the ending. The cosmic tree, the world tree, key attributes represents the cosmic structure of creation from primeval mound, then to the celestial spirit. Sometimes identified with the jet pillar, symbolizing stability, the spine of Osar, the resurrected king. The 4 branches correspond to the 4 sons of Heru, the 4 direction. We pointed that out earlier. The 4 foundational elements of the cosmos.
Absolutely.
Central to the festival of raising the dead or raising the dead. When the pharaoh literally reestablished the cosmic balance, metaphysical meaning, cosmic tree represents universal axis, roots deep within the noon, primordial waters, the trunk, cosmic axis, linking worlds. Branches, stars, planets, constellations, divine order, manifesting as Ma'at. You see what I'm saying? So then they integrate the tree, the sacred tree and the cosmic tree. That's nothing more than bringing together the masculine and the feminine. Remember we talked about that in the beginning?
Absolutely.
The jet pillar represents.
That's called Father Allah and the Mother Virtues.
There you go. The mother virtues in the harmony of life, and spirit clothed with soul made in the form of Allah. the husbandman that casts his seed into the soil of soul that it may grow apace. Goodness gracious. Oh, we're going to keep bringing it back to the prophet.
Yeah.
So we're going to let you know he was the Egyptian adept master.
The brother knew what he was talking about.
He knew what he was talking about, bro. He was way ahead of his time.
Yes, sir. And
we just cracking the code.
And he brought it to us in the clear,
the most simplest form.
English language, bro. It was, oh my God.
See, look, it says integrating both trees, sacred tree and the cosmic tree, are not separate. They are two perspectives of the same truth. The sacred tree is microcosmic, focusing on the soul's journey in immortality. The cosmic tree is macrocosmic, describing the universe as a living divine organism. Tree of life. Mystical formula, KABAahLAH. Kabalah, the inner vital essence, and Ba, soul, ascend through the sacred tree until they merge with the Allah, the glorified spirits of the eternal stars, rooted in the cosmic tree of the universe. Goodness gracious. This is essentially the Egyptian as above, so below, similar to the Kabbalistic relationship between the individual tree of life and the universal Sephirotic structure. So they're going to still be in denial now?
No, astaghfirullah.
What you talking about, Willis?
Astaghfirullah.
Yeah, what you talking about, Willis?
What you talking about, Willis? Yeah.
Hey, so, again, we don't went over this, the Nehet and the palm tree, the shared cosmic tree, so we don't have to go over that again. We don't went over this enough dealing with the Ba, an unfoldment of that, the Nehet sycamore tree, we went over that. Now we just going through pictures and getting down to the nitty gritty. We see that there was a Sumerian tree of life in 4500 BCE. And they have many of those, but this is dealing mainly with Kemet. You see them with them fezzes on their head. You know what I mean? So, like,
run
come on,
it back,
man.
Run it back. Let them see it again.
They can't get away from it.
Blow it up. Let's make it plain. Blow it up.
Yes, sir. That's that Sumerian fez, man.
Hey, listen.
You see it got, it got.
We don't want to hear that no more. We don't want to hear that no more.
Yeah, it's them.
We don't want to hear that no more.
Yes, sir. The breasts of one mother have given you suck. See, they got them up there on the top of their head. That's where the breast milk come from. That's the wisdom.
Sister,
that's right. The land of milk and honey. So, this is dealing with Sargon's tree. This is also a tree of the Sumerians. Now look at this. Oh, they thought it was over, huh?
Oh,
they thought it was over, didn't they?
Oh man.
I can't make this up. I just put it in chronological order. Look at that. Come on, bro. Stop playing, man.
Yo,
what they talking about, brother?
This is crazy.
Look at this.
Hey, man, I should see fire emojis in the chat. Give me some fire emojis in the chat.
Look at that.
Seriously.
Look at the and look at the sacred geometry here.
He cooking.
Somewhat similar to what our brother had when he was demonstrating the Salat earlier. Our brother
Khalil. You talking about our brother
Sharif Anil Bey. Yeah. Look at the sacred. Look at the map. Look at the pyramid.
Yeah.
You see what I'm saying? This is sacred geometry, people. The tree already is sacred geometry. Now watch this. See, this is what we getting at right now. This is what's going on with this misinformation and disinformation. The age of the DNA is the emergence of biological life. Post DNA, we see X's and O's. They trying to erase our DNA. And now you got the emergence of artificial life, AE, artificial intelligence now. That's what's going on right now. Rotten fruit. Life exists in many different forms throughout the universe. Biological life eventually morphs into artificial life. And that's the problem, because they're making you think you more of this body than you are spirit.
Absolutely.
Now, these are the trees. You can see this is the tree of Orishas. See the names of the Orisha deities. You see they have the Hebrew measures in here, correspondence as well. All of them right there. Orishas got their tree of life. Yep, for those of you who didn't know it, they got their tree of life. You know, we showed also the DNA helix again, you know, showing how it looks like a ladder, you know, just to give our people that comparison so they don't forget it. Here's the EFA version. Even though they got 16 spheres in here, this is their tree diagram. These are what they call the Oju patterns.
Let's listen to the 16. Let's look at the 16 though, because you already demonstrated that the 8, right?
That's right. And 8 and 8 is what?
We're dealing with the 16 is a reflection from the higher.
It's a reflection. That's right. It's 8 and 8. It's the infinity symbol. Yes, sir. In some trees of life, they have in here where they depict the what's above ground and what's beneath the surface. This is coming through the path of Confucianism. Yeah, they ain't playing. They getting their share too. Chi, 2, Sun, look, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Hold on, wait a minute. 8, 9, 10. Come on, man. Stop playing. This tree of life concept is dominating. Here's the expression through Hinduism right here. The teachings of Krishna. You see it? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. And right down here at the bottom, 8, 9. The deities. Then they got the whole chakra system up here. Man, they better stop playing. Look at that. Here's another tree. This is Buddhism. Look.
Right.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. Huh? What in the world? You know, here's another one. Dealing with Buddhism. They got the tree up here and they got it right all over the face of the pharaoh. But look at this picture. The Dharmakaya. The Narmankaya. You know, all of these, this is Buddhist. The enlightened Buddha is referred to in our Moorish teaching when we talking about Kemet being the land of sacred things.
Absolutely.
Hey, all the way to the physical body, man. Subconscious.
Man, the mysteries.
Come on, man. Look at this. Oh, they thought it was over with? No, we got to let them know they ain't playing over there in Hinduism.
No, bro. They are not playing.
It's a whole pyramid right here, man. They got the abadet above his head, the winged sun disc, the Bahadet.
We might have to do a show. We might have to do a show where we come and talk about the connection between Indus Kush and Kush.
Oh, we got to do that.
Yeah.
We got to do that.
We got to do
that's
that.
What, see, now this is where your Jewish Kabbalah come in at, people. 13th and 12th and 13th century. We done already showed y'all that Kemet did it first.
But look.
Go ahead, brother.
But then we start talking about Al-Andalus.
This is the scholar. That's why I told you it was a Moorish scholar that actually created it.
All right.
You know what I mean? It was created in Al-Andalus. Most of these documents was translated out of Arabic. You got to remember. This is during the Renaissance.
Still connected to Kemet.
It's still connected to Kemet. Way before this come into being. So now over here, remember I told you some of these trees show just as much above as it is below. Now this one right here kind of one you want to stay away from. Because even though in these top ones you see Keitha and all that right there, the Malku, but the lower, the root, Lily, Gamea, I don't even want to say the rest of them names. Those words have vibration. Nobody think I'm calling them.
Don't summons none of that.
Talking about somebody called me. No. I didn't call you, sir.
No.
Get back in there from whence you came. You know?
Get behind me, Satan.
Yeah, so we're gonna be careful. We ain't gonna say something. So you know they have the Ain Sofar, Ain Sof, or Sa. But anyway, you can see it here. This is their tree, Bria, Yetzirah. You know, Adam Codman is very important because that's who the tree really expresses, the original man. Isha. Okay. Here is your real crucifixion right here. I'm sorry to bust y'all bubbles, but that's Jesus on the cross right there, the male and the female. But anyway, you know, I'm just saying, I'm just putting it out. Y'all don't beat me up. See it say the Garden of Eden. But anyway,
hey, send me that diagram, bro. Send me that diagram.
I'm sending it ASAP. I'm almost done. I'm finna send it to you right now, as soon as I get done, because I'm just running through. Now here's Jacob had a dream about a ladder that rested on earth. Pay attention. It says on earth with its top reaching to the heaven, and God's angels was going up and down the ladder. And there at the top, the Lord was standing. God was at the top of the ladder now, saying, I'm the Lord, the God of your father, Abraham. He talking to him through his DNA. He said, I will give you and your descendant, been stabbed him in the face all the while. You and your descendant, this land on which you now lie, your descendants going to be like the dust of the earth, and they're going to spread to the west and the east and north and the south. Oh boy. And the families of the earth will be blessed in your offspring. Look, I am with you.
Descendants, offspring, family.
Watch this. This what he finna, man, watch this. I will watch over you wherever you go. I will bring you back to this land. Remember, he at the top of the ladder now.
Yeah.
He said, for I will not leave you until I have done what I promised. Now watch this. When Jacob woke up, see, he was in that vision land. He was astral traveling. He was traveling. He was in the bar. He thought, surely the Lord is in this place. What place? Him.
Yep.
And I was unaware of it. Goodness gracious, near to man in his very own jugular vein. Look, and he was afraid and said, how awesome is this place? This is none other than the house of God. This is the gate of heaven. Oh my God. This house of God. Now, you know, they talk about the house of God in the seventh heaven when Muhammad went up there. You know, they call it Beato Mamor.
Yes, sir.
Bayonel, the more. And they spell it M-O-O-R too.
Absolutely.
Yes, sir. Beato Mamor, the house of God. So here is a depiction of, you know, the star constellation Pleiades and all that. They got a Kabbalistic tree in the planetary aspect. Oh, yeah, it's all over the place. This diagram exists everywhere. That's why it's the tree of life, people. You know, look at the brother here. You know, I hate to say he defecating on the world, but, you know, on Asia, but planet Asia. But when you come here, you can see that this is one of the triangles that deal with the first three. Sephiroth, here's the other one. If you pull them together, they make a 6-pointed star.
Absolutely.
You know, here's another drawing showing various mudras. Which one can utilize the crossover if they traveling on a journey? Various passwords, tokens. You know I got to be humorous, brother. To show some love to all our family.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Yes, sir. We know more than they think we do, brother. In the beginning was the Word, and the Word was with God, and the Word was God. And, you know, I put all that together showing why is it that every time you see the name of the Most High, it's forming the shape of a man. Arm, leg, arm, head, Allah. This 4-letter word forming a man. Huh? What is he trying to tell you?
That he's within you.
There you go. The God code. Here's one that's showing also the chakra charts next to the brother. That's a tree of life.
Bro.
You see that?
Yeah, that went to the right, bro.
Yes, sir. I know you were going to like that one.
Oh, man, I like that one.
Oh, yeah. It get greater. And you can see really here the inverted 5 and the upright 5. You know, and you see the east, north, south, east, west, the 4 corners. We also see the elements. You know, this is the 10. This is the 10 brought together. So this is a separate. You also see the letters in there too, the 22 letters. So this is actually the covenant of the organ of the tongue, the holy temple.
Mm.
You know, look at all the symbolism, bro. Our people gonna be able to see all the symbols and read them when we get done with this. The 9 orders of the angels that are mentioned. Look at this. This is a form of this here. Watch this. The 9 orders of the angels. 3rd heaven. The 3rd heaven adept chamber above the neck. Above the neck. Seraphim and cherubim. What is cherubim in chapter 1? A protector. What is seraphim? Spirit of the Almighty God Allah. So when you get back up there, you return into the Creator, the unmanifested creative force.
The protector and the guy spoken of in the Moorish American prayer.
That's right. The same one that brought forth that celestial God. You know, so powers, dominions, you know, in the 2nd heaven, you got virtues, you know, you got archangels, angel princes, glory, splendor, principalities, angels, 1st heaven, physical world, dealing with man. I'm going to take you somewhere. In Sufism, you learn that the chariot governs the physical. Then you have what you call tariqat, which represents the path of the angels.
Then you have Marifat.
Then you have, well, Hakikat first.
Hakikat is first.
Right. And then Marifat.
Yeah.
You know these 4, what they correspond to?
The 4 elements.
Now ye cherubim, ye seraphim, ye angels, and ye men.
The 4 directions and the four elements.
All of that, because it represents also, when you say here now ye cherubim, ye seraphim, ye angels, and ye men, what we are talking about is the chemistry of mortal life, the ministry of death, and the mystery of deific life. These 3 degrees are mentioned as man himself is the one that is going through these 3 phases. He becomes swift angel, he becomes cherubim, and he unfolds into seraphim. Powerful. 3 degrees, and that's chamber wisdom that we putting out here now. But I didn't say it, the prophet said it. They can't put it on me, brother. They can't put it on me, brother Seven. I'm just quoting the prophet. I'm just mapping it.
But you know what you know what they say? Sometimes they shoot the message.
Yeah, right. Well, you know how they used to map the video controllers, the game controllers. I'm just mapping to the cheat code.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
So here we go again, the expression of Adam Codman, the God man, the original man. Who is the original man? The Asiatic. Yeah, so see it, Asia. You know, look at that. Right there. All that correspond, man. We can't get away with this. Again, this is just the same thing. Showing the 7 archons, the seraphim, cherubim, thrones. Same thing, man. This is the prophet teaching. Chapter 1 all up in this demonstration. You even got one here that correspond to Kemetic terminology, along with Buddhist terminology. Atma, Buddhi, Manas. If you know about that. But here we go.
Oh,
the Kabalah of Tasawwuf. Uh-oh. Elihu. You know Elihu.
You got this. I don't care. Yeah, you got this.
Elihu, you know, Elihu is actually a place that actually would have been a representation of the earthly paradise in Kemet, which is synonymous with Allahum. This is the one God, Elahum, right here. Notice how it's mapped in their tree of life, and this is actually dealing with the 8. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8.
I think Dr. Malakazi York talking about Elihu.
Yeah, he talked about Elihu. Yeah, that's the oneness of God, but that's Sufi concept. It's Tasawwuf. So this is the Kabbalah of Islamic mystics. See, I told you that 8. You know what I mean? And then it says Ilihun, Wahidun, Hakan. You know, dealing with the oneness of Allah. Now, Dul Nun is said to be the father of the teachings of Sufism. You know, they come straight out of Kemet. He lived in Akhmim, or Ekmim, which was in Upper Kemet. He was a Moabite. He was an ancient Moab. You know, he had teachers, and they traveled extensively throughout Arabia and Syria. So he is the father. He was the first person to start playing with the hieroglyphics too, in the modern time. They say he has some translations out there somewhere. I seen his alphabet, but I ain't seen no translation. This was a drawing that I got from a site, and it's actually dealing with Islamic mysticism, but this is actually dealing with the planets. And all these is this was based off the Pyramid of Giza base. It was supposed to be 3 of them, but they end up putting 4. And so these 10 Sephiroth here really are just the names of Neptune, Venus, and you know, all that. That's all that is. See, this is the circle of the planets right here. You know, and this is the same thing here. This is Islamic mysticism, though, bro. And a lot of these things come from Ibn Arabi. You know who Ibn Arabi was. So
Absolutely.
a lot of these charts come from there.
He was a mastermind.
A mastermind when it comes to these teachings. Here's another Sufi chart, Islamic model of the soul. Look at it. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. And then this is really 1.
Yeah, 9.
9. There you go. And it's the model. So Akira, Allah, Fitra, the state in which man was created. Ruh, Allah blew a portion of Eru in man. The Navs, Amara, Lawama, Mutmain, bestiality, consciousness, felicity. Look, Lucifer, Satan, devil, dragon, beast, down there in that dunya. Down there in the dunya, and Kuzahu. Now look, Mulikat. In the tree of life, they call it Malakut.
Malakut.
You see what I'm saying? This is a Sufi chart talking about the nerves and the soul. Didn't I tell you we talking about the plane of soul? What Prophet Noble Ali said? He said, I can better teach you from the plane of soul because the enemy can't hide. Oh my God. Remember I was talking about the arsh in the number 8? See what I'm saying? It's a tree of life right here, family. The rule, everything coming into the manifest, all the way down to the Zur. Al-Araf, the heights, Qatar, Kita, Maqam Mahmud, Al-Mahmud. Come on, man, stop it.
Mahmud, Mehmed.
That's right. Look at that. That's another tree of life. You see that star right there?
Absolutely.
You see the fire. You see the cradle and crescent that come up out of Kemet with the sun in the middle of it. Come on, man. See, they like to be sneaky with that. They like to try to be sneaky. We see y'all, though.
Yeah, signs and symbols for the conscious mind, though.
Yeah, man. We see y'all.
Of understanding.
Beautiful, too. And this Ibn Arabi work.
Oh, man.
Yeah, this Ibn Arabi work, too. Tree of life, brother. Allah up the top, Shaitan down here in the hell. See there? It's the same thing. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Come on, man. This is Ibn Arabi work. Purification of the self. The tree of life, bro, exists in every school of thought. Stop playing. Look, here's another one. The Ahadiyya, the Insani Kamil, we know that's perfected man. The oneness of God, the Wadat, the Wahidat, all that's dealing with the oneness of the Most High. 2, 4, 6, 8, 9, 10. Asma, dealing with the beautiful name. Here's another tree of life expression. You know what I mean? Allah at the top. You see them breaking it down. La ilaha illallah. Muhammadan Rasulullah. Huh?
Yeah.
Come on, man. They say Kemetian can't read Arabic. Hey, so here's the Zat, you know, in Insan. Man, the Zat, that's the source. 2, 4, 6, 8, 10. Remember? This is the chart. Hahut, Ahidat, Lahut, Jabrut, Malikat, Nasut, Wahadat, Wadina. Come on, man. And then we have one here dealing with the call Bia, Malakutia, pardon self. The call Bia, Malakutia, dealing with the heart, science of the heart. You see the tree. You know what I mean? Like, I mean, this is really overkill. And then I told you, they try to be slick. They don't want to let you know Allah is expressed in the form of man. So they got to be subtle with it.
in there too.
Yeah, they out the DNA. They want to be subtle with it. We know this is arm, leg, arm, people. Stop playing with us.
Come on, man. Look at that.
The Arab try to be sneaky.
No, bring it back down. Look at the A. Look at Allah.
That's what I'm talking about. That's what I'm talking about.
Oh, man.
You see it?
Yes, sir.
All up and through there. Now watch this.
Yes, sir.
This is what I was telling them earlier about the Kabbalah, Western Freemasonry, Christian, occult, theosophy in most cases. Western Freemasonry is a reason why I say that. There's something here: wisdom, strength, and beauty. That's what these 3 pillars represent. Wait a minute. Oh, that's a tree of life. You mean to tell me that's a tree of life? What does this wisdom, strength, and beauty represent, though? Oh my God. Goma, Oz, Deba. God. The 3 pillars of the lodge express God. And Albert Mackey was the one that made it popular when he broke it down. You know, and you read it backwards. That's what it is. Gemil Memresh. You know, then the other pillar is Oz, strength. Ayin Zayin. That's the Oz. That's the O and the Z. And the Ba, meaning wisdom. So it's Dalit Bes Resh. Thus Gomar Oz Duba. The Hebrew consonant. Man, do you know 810 is the breakdown of the number in relation to dealing with wisdom, strength, and beauty. 8 and 10 is what? 9.
And Sephra.
Yeah, 8, 10 is 9 because it's 8 plus 1. Like you said, the Sephra. You know, now check this out. Check this out. They can't hide nothing from me, brother. You see this here in the Arabic, right? 5 perfect points. Fellowship. Goodness gracious. You mean to tell me in the form of the tree too? I can talk this stuff right here, beloved brother. I ain't getting you in no trouble now. You hear me? I can talk like this because I ain't know. I'm just messing with you.
Hey, look here. Can't get me in no trouble either.
That's right.
Him. He is I and I am him.
I am him. You know, I'm just kicking it with you on the humor. You know what I mean? Yes, but sir. Like, it'll take Ray Charles them to be blind and not be able to see that.
Just to let them know, you know, I went on that, you know, I went on that journey with the Mason.
Yes, sir. That's right. That's right. You know, that's why, you know, I was nudging you, messing around.
Keep nudging me, though. Keep me woke.
Yes, sir. Letting you know. And here's one. Look what they showing here. The photon, plasma, ether. See, they looking at this thing scientifically. They trying to use these elements to do some work with. See, that's where they go to, you know, trying to conjure stuff up by bringing certain things on the manifest. You feel me? And that's the difference. Remember I told you about Majaya, Thurgy, you know, and what we call Goetia. Goetia is straight wicked. A lot of the Wiccans and devil worshippers, they into the Goetia. That's summoning beings to try to take control of somebody else's being. But when you talk about Thurgy, which was the way of our ancestors, you know, Thurgy has to do with assuming the God form. You know, and basically being the blessing and the lesson.
Yeah, being what you know.
Being what you know. Spirit clothed with soul made in the form of Allah, flesh divine. You see, and then over here they got protons, quarks, leptons, gravity, neutron. See how they doing it? So they using their Kabbalah to be practical. You know, in their use. They trying to get into how they can do it scientifically and magically. You see? So right here, the Hermetic Kabbalah, you know, which was actually created by your boy, Kircher was the one, Athanasius Kircher was the one that in 652 created their version. Then Aleister Crowley came along later with the Order of the Golden Dawn and began to do his thing. Of course, Rosicrucianism has that thing. When you say Hermetic Kabbalah is really a mixture of Kemetic, Judaism, Christianity, and, you know, all of those things. You see what I'm saying? So we at the end now, people. Here's the anatomy, or code anatomy. See, they got the Temple of Solomon, the Castle of Camelot. Look at all of that.
Bro, that's crazy.
Look at that.
That's a map.
A whole map. And then look at this. This is how they working when they deal with the magic in their Kabbalah. Like I say, and our ancestors didn't do this. We demonstrate Heka. We come from a pure source when we doing this. They trying to see what it say. This is the tree of evil, of which even men and women eat. See what I'm talking about? Now, when they go to talking like that, you already know something ain't right. The knowledge, yeah. Talking about the knowledge of good in these days, and many, and therefore die.
Oh, no, sir.
See, when they go to doing that, and then they talking about they gonna use the planets, and then they got Satan and all this stuff, and they gonna try to call on the deities. No, see, this is what you got to be careful with, people. Astaghfirullah. Yeah, you see, so we showing you the difference between they using the elements and everything, and trust me, when they go to tapping into the stuff, this stuff do be working for them. You know what I mean? But they selling their souls, family. Because one thing about the jinn serves Allah. So when you go down there and you go to praising and worshiping the jinn will be your huckleberry. He'll act like he's, when you go to calling on Jabril and Mikael, them angels ain't here. Nothing you trying to say. But them jinns will slide right in there. I'll be your huckleberry. And next thing you know, once they got you behind where they need you, now you wonder why you have a final destination. A bill and then something fall on you. They done use you up. And now you ain't nothing but a hole.
Yeah. We gotta get rid of you. You're a waste.
Yeah, when they destroy you bad. You go bad too. You don't go in the normal way.
Oh no, you go real ugly.
Yeah, you go real bad.
Yeah.
So we at the end now, family. To the ancient Egyptian adept chamber of Merkaba. Because Merkaba science is related to Kabalah. This is your third heaven, as we relate to Kabalah, KABAahLAH. Now watch this. You can see the tree all up in here, brother. 7.
I see. Yeah, I see it.
You see it all up in here. See that? Like you say, I be sliding it off in there. Yeah. You see the pillars and all that right there.
Real slick with it. Yes,
all
sir.
Up through there.
Real subtle.
We got all the schools of thought with all the hands coming forth from it. These are really all schools of thought. Every belief. Now look at the feds up here. In other words, we saying this is what's up under our feds. That ain't what's on your head. It's what's in your head.
Yes, sir.
And all this is what is in our. Look at this is the judgment seat in the east. And our prophet done made his journey back to the west with the book of Ali. Or did I say Eli?
Eli.
He was the book.
He was the book. Absolutely.
So you see the tessellated flow down there. You already know what that represents.
You know I know.
Yes, sir. So now these were this is our expression we have when we teach a lot of times in our ears class. And we teach on the language. This is a certificate of the scribe. The Egyptian Adept Temple scribe. And this is red Fez degree, because the white Fez degree is seraphim. So this is the Egyptian Adept Moorish rite of the mystic crypts of Misraim. Where we get this from? Mystic crypts. That's in our Moorish Holy Quran. The light shining through the crevice of the mystic crypts of Misraim. So don't get this confused with no 96 rite or nothing.
Oh, no, sir.
So now these are the prophet symbol, the 9 wonders of the world. They come off of his charter. You see what I'm saying? Variations dealing with whatever. We know what they mean. So what's the real symbolism behind this demonstration? It's a tree of life. Veiled. You know it now.
Yes.
By looking at it, you can see the tree of life. We wasn't playing.
You were demonstrating, Mo.
Yeah, so what is this? Prophet, spirit. What did he say? I can better work from the soul plane. But he manifested down here. You see what I'm saying? But what did he bring us? The knowledge of the great God, salvation, our God unit. He was salvation. Our God is Allah. Unity represents us as a nation. Moorish Divine and National Movement.
Absolutely.
See the hand clasp? You see? Then we come here and you got there it is again, the feds. That's the wisdom up under the feds. We broke the symbol down earlier. Lion laying down with the lamb, that's government. People that's citizens being ruled righteously. This is the initiation, the path the prophet went through when he went to Kemet. He came out between what? The paws of the Sphinx. Ooh, there he is. And his camel was well saddled and equipped for the journey along the way. It's Bactrim Beast, right?
Yes, sir.
Last but not least, along with, like I said, this is the end. This is the 42 paths of Moorish wisdom. You know, when you go into this particular drawing, you see the 10 Sephiroth. You got the 21 paths here. You have the 12 added to that. And then you go into, you know, the destination. And you see all of these represent different measures that really represent the structure of your temple. There's a chairman that exists inside of us. There's a national grand sheik that exists inside of us. There's an assistant national grand sheik. And these represent different tools. See what I'm saying? The sheep, that 3-step ladder, that wisdom, will, and love, faith, hope, and love. You know, the plane, you know, that's the chairman working on the plane. You know, the assistant grand sheep, that's that hammer of repetition, pounding in the truth to make it part of every part. What he done got from the sheep and the chairman. Then you got, you know, the grand national secretary, she represents the Mardic scale. That's where the plummet is falling from, plumbing that line. Then we got the Grand Mufti, which symbolizes the scimitar, coming from the family of the axe. You know, then we got the square, the Assistant Grand National Mufti, keeping that conduct square. The silent brotherhood of swift angels, that's the compass. Drawing a circle around your passions and desires, keeping it within the bounds of righteousness. The lion is salvation. That's the prophet in essence, his teachings. And the grand national treasurer is symbolic to, you know, the chisel and the saw. You know, because this is where the treasures come from. You got to do some cutting. You got to get to the root to find the truth. From the root to the truth. And again, this is when you hit this, it's going to take you to my website, you know, Mathino's archive. And you will see that I have the breakdown of the Kemetic. I don't know if you ever been in my website before and didn't even know it was mine. But you can see it right here. See how the tree was mapped out to go through Brother Arado Nefer Ahmed? Y'all sorry, metaphor. Oh, yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, so it's a whole lot in here alone, bro. I broke chapter 1 down based on this. See, ye cherubim, ye seraphim, ye angels, ye men, protoplasm, earth, plant, beast. Ye spirits of the air, ye spirits of the fire, spirits of the water, spirits of the earth. Nu, Shu, Tefnut, Sel. Come on, bro, we don't play.
No, sir.
See the Nu in the Nut, Ku in the Kuket, Ab in the Ka. I'm showing you that the prophet actually brought the same information. Merkaba, the divine apparatus of the Moorish Adept. The apparatus, he said he's going to take his people up in the apparatus, didn't he? The apparatus of the spirit plane.
Absolutely.
Thought plane, seraphim. Apparatus of the soul plane, angels. Apparatus of the manifest plane, men. Right there, chapter 1, bro. Come on, man. The Moorish Kaaba of Allah.
Yes, sir.
It all makes sense now, don't it?
I see you drawing, Mo.
Yes, sir.
I see you drawing, Mo.
Yes, sir.
Absolutely. Absolutely. Yeah. Hey, man, is there any way you can put the link put the link to the website in the chat right now?
Yeah, talking about this one here.
Yes, sir.
Yeah, it's right here. I can drop it in.
Put it in the chat.
Yeah, it's right here. I'm gonna copy it. I'm gonna copy it real quick. When they get this document, it's gonna have it in there too for. So they click that when y'all click that on the document, it's gonna take you right in there. You know, it's gonna take you right in there. So that's how I did it, because you can make live links, but I'm dropping it right now in the chat. Okay, and I think long as you allow that, they should be able to, it said failed to post. So it ain't let me put the chat.
Well, send it to my phone right quick. I don't see why it's not letting you do it, but send it to my phone right quick.
I'm gonna drop it in your Facebook
inbox.
thing.
Yeah, send it in my inbox.
Yeah, in your inbox. That's the closest to me right now. But
I'm
yeah,
I'm gonna put it in there, and I want everybody to go ahead and hit that link, save it in your web browser. So you can.
They're gonna get it anyway when they get the PDF though.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Yeah, so let them know that it's
and everybody who wants the PDF, I'm gonna put my email back in the chat again. Email me and say PDF file, and put that in the subject matter, PDF file. And what I'll do is that'll let me know to send you the PDF that the brother's gonna send me.
Yes, sir. And in these last few slides here, you see I have Adam Codman here. See, a lot of people don't know Adam Codman been present since the first day. You know, when it said, because he was made before the plants or the trees. Genesis chapter 2, 4-7 speaks of a man that was made before the plants or the trees or anything had come into existence. And then you have Genesis 1:26, Adam Harishun, the physical Adam. Come on, remember I told you that Adam, the physical Adam, was made in the image of Adam Codman or Adam God-man, huh? And Adam Codman was made in the image of the supreme reality, the Ancient of Days. Atik Yamin is what they call the Ancient of Days, Daniel 7 and 9. So if you notice in this tree that I created here, it don't have inverted star. You know, it has 2 5-pointed stars. You know, so Adon represents Eden. This is the Garden of Eden. You know what man was, Ish and Isha. This is the indigenous Muslim. Harmony, truth, balance, right, order, and justice. That's where we get love, truth, peace, freedom, and justice from. Elohim, you know, the ones who actually created the physical man according to, you know, what we teach in the Moorish teachings. You know, so what manifested as the physical man came into being? Justice is symbolic to the scimitar above the star, but instability, inconstancy, weakness, insufficiency, misery, all of these are the foes that man must fight. The 5 foes of man.
Yes, sir.
You see, the original flag was white until he reached the radar atmosphere, and then survival of the best kept in, and oh my God. You see? So Adam and Eve is down here. This is where the Asiatic at, the descendant. So we have to know that our original mother and father is Ish and Isha. You know, but that's another measure. Now look, this is, yes, sir. This is the original way of Yahweh. Notice Yah is the root. Yah is the key that unites. See the name Yahweh, who he is actually the Kemetic way of saying it, backwards. Who he is H-U-H-I. You see, but Yahweh Kemetically is who he. You see what I'm saying? See, people don't even know that.
That's why Sufis say who.
That's right. Who. That's the divine portion.
Yep.
Because if you take who from E-L-O-M, it's no longer Elohim. So watch this, Yah. See Asha and Aish, you know, Aish and Isha. Look at what unite them. Yah. See that? See Yah? Now watch this. Every letter is the same in the name Ish and Isha, except this letter and this letter. So Yah is who unite spirit man and spirit woman as twin flame. It get even deeper. Because when you come down here to Elohim, or Elohim, the same element of Yah is here too. You don't see that in the name Adam and Eve. So Ish and Isha, the original man and woman, being one through deific will and deific tie with Allah, it is the Yah that unites Ish and Isha along with Elohim. It shows you the relation. That's a formula, man. Do they not get it? What more do I have to say?
I mean, what else you gonna say?
You see? So here's a drawing here. This is what we're gonna tell them. Allah equal arm, leg, arm, head. Man is born to become God. There it go, right there. Oh, we think. Watch this. Give 5 names that are given to the descendants of Adam and Eve. Didn't I say it? Lucifer, Satan, devil, dragon, and beast. And they represent the shadow that manifests in this plane. What is the devil sometimes called? The lower self. How many cells are there? 2. What? Name them. Higher self and lower self. What people represent the higher self? The angels who protect the holy city of Mecca. They didn't know the Mecca that you got to protect represents your thought. An angel is a thought of Allah made manifest in human flesh, right? So these are thoughts of Alt, you see, that expels the naught.
Absolutely.
Cast them out of the holy city. Get out of there. What people represent the lower self? Those who were cast out. And those who represent the one who think crazy. They think wild. You see this chart right here? Now you know what it means when we talk about adept. See, executive ruler of the AC or the MST of A, right? Consular Adept Chamber of Man, the Moorish American National, Master of Allah's nature, executive ruler of the Consular Adept Chamber of Man, the ruler of what? Mecca. So what are we talking about here? The consular magistrate, sovereign power, Godhead of man, right? The Grand Heruphant. You got to get up here though. 7 acts, 7 days in creation. Arm, leg, arm, head. Man, spirit, man, flesh divine. So we come from a state of man, misnomer, alienation, nationless person, and we grow into an understanding of what it means to be a sheep. That's our descent nature as a Moorish American national. Then we become adept. When we become adept, in all actuality, security and defense, we can guard ourselves over our passions and desires, our cravings. Then we move on up to the divine constitution, the supreme law. We supposed to preserve them in our heart, right? Yes, sir. And then we come up to declaration, proclamation, whole instruction. What angels do, take the truth throughout the 4 corners of the earth. Right?
Absolutely.
You go into cherubim again, executive rulers of the grand body, right up here, between your eye, your brow. Then when you come up here, the supreme grand ruler, now you in the realm of Heruphant. From a chakra standpoint, scimitar sacrum, the sword of life at the base of the spine. That's what they call it scientific now, the scimitar sacrum. That's where you forge your scimitar. The stream of pleasure. In fact, Prophet Muhammad said the only thing going to be left, in the day of resurrection is the coccyx. And you will be raised from the dead. Man, that's telling you that Kundalini fire energy going to be awakened. You going to raise the jet pillar, man. So the stream of pleasure, the lingam chakra, corner desires, the realm of birth. You got to master all that. The soil of corner life, the abdominal, the throne of power. Going back to that heart. The breath of heaven, the throat chakra. Adept chamber, 3rd heaven, the thalamus chakra, because it's called the chamber, the thalamus. The throne of Allah, the crown chakra. Come on, man.
Come on.
We can't make this stuff. The prophet got the circle 7 right around his waist.
Come on, man. Come on, man.
So man is human spirit clothed with soul made in the form of Allah. Again, our tree of life, he talked about the vine and fig tree. Look at it. Look at the chart. I didn't put this together. You know what I mean? The prophet brought these
together.
symbols. The 9 wonders of the world. And look at him manifesting down here. You think the prophet put this stuff up here just to put it like this? You don't think he was putting a tree of, you don't think this was a tree of life being demonstrated right there? You see?
Ain't no coincidence.
Right. Now look at your boy here, P. Nathaniel Johnson, Fahmy Temples of Islam, a student of the prophet. According to my research, look at what he has. Look at what he have here. This is a tree of life being expressed here, whether they know it or not, with the signs around it and everything. But guess what he called man and woman? The man in the sun, his wife is the woman in the moon. The sun is the son of Allah, Osiris, Autumn, Ish. I wonder where he got that name from. Our names of the sun and the new crescent moon is this real from which was made Isis, Eve, or Aisha. Huh? Ish and Isha. Right? So now look. Zig, zag, zig. You see it.
I draw and you cut.
That's right. Look at him. Theology of time. This is Elijah Muhammad now. He said, I want to bring you into the knowledge of yourself. Why are you? He said, why are you nothing? Are you in any way tallied with the universe? Yes. Elijah, why did you make the 0 round? Because that's the way the universe was before the creation of man. Listen to him now. Peep him out. Out of it, we came by one who was self-created. He didn't come from the creation of another. He's the creator himself. The first, remember that. He made himself in a circle so that the wisdom of his self-creation could keep going to give knowledge, wisdom, and understanding to you and me. Come on, man. You know that's them Sephiroths manifesting. I want us to remember that. Out of this darkness came one. And then he took the unknown and put it in front of himself. So think if you have 1 and then you put a 0 in front of that 1, it's tenfold now. You made nothing in the sudden. For what? To produce the known. That's why the 0 goes in front to make more zeros. Oh man. He puts more up there beside the 0 and keep producing or making this one tenfold more powerful than it is just by adding zeros. What are you trying to drive us to, Muhammad? I'm saying that the more of you who knew nothing and was like that 0 are added to the one God, you become something. You put a whole bunch of nothings in front of that 0, man, you're going to get 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 20 figures. I'm only now making figures of us. And from the figures we teach, you can understand.
Absolutely.
Zig, zag, zig. Huh? Now, don't even get me started with this 5% stuff. You got 9 in the supreme mathematics. The tree is already there, self-evident. Huh?
Absolutely.
Now, then you have the alphabet in here. Then they talk about the first 9 born. Look at that. Arm, leg, arm, head. Zig, zag, zig. And if you really look at the zig, zag, zig, you really see 3 sevens. 7, 7, 7. Oh my God. Come on, man. Yeah, we done now, family, but we couldn't help but do this before we got done. Our brother Freeman L brought to talk. Freeman L, man.
Hey, listen,
he put it down.
Hey, listen, brother.
Yes, sir.
You know what?
Yes, sir.
Well, you something else, brother.
Oh yeah, you know we got to tell him, man, bring it to him. Yes, I mean, we're gonna give it to him and show him that this brother gave pretty much everything he had been studying in his life here.
Yes, sir.
You know, biological youth organism, boy, your own universe, generator, operator, destroyer. Generator, operator, destroyer, God, God, master, able, Noah, noble. You know, look at the brother now. Look at all the symbolism in here. Knowledge, order, rhythm, astronomy, nature, Quran. I, self, law, and master, hard. 2 and 5 and hard equals 7. You know, this is cold-blooded.
Cold-blooded.
He left this behind so that our people know what they need to be studying. Now watch this. Remember I told you about, you know, what we have on the 12-step ladder, science and religion?
Mm-hmm.
What is that old-time religion? Islamism. And in Islamism, we believe in the teachings of Buddha, Confucius, Jesus, Abraham, and Muhammad.
Yes.
So in the wisdom teaching, they got a tree here too. I ain't gonna tell you what this really is right here that's going on here. I'm gonna keep that to myself. You know, but you know, you got India, the Vedas, Brahmanism, the mysteries, Chaldea, Egypt, secret doctrines, Zoroaster's teachings, Confucius, Plato, Kabalah, or the Sufis, Kabalah, the modern Freemason, Christian, the Christ, religion of Muhammad, Plato, science and religion. Them two wrongs are the wrong on the ladder. Philosophy, church, militant, you know, proselytarianism, as they would call it, proselytism or proselytism, you know, well, you're dealing with proselytes or whatever. Constantine, the sex of Christendom. And like, come on, bro. So the whole of all these teachings create a tree of life, bro.
Islam.
Last but not least, who is God in the holy city of Mecca today, to keep the unbelievers away. Remember, angel is a thought made manifest in human flesh.
Absolutely.
What is the modern name for these angels? Asiatics. What is the shade of their skin?
Olive.
From the rightest of the right, or the lightest of the right, to the ripest of the right. More similarities in relation to those angels? Yes, we all have the same color. So I'm letting you know, we the guardians and custodians of the knowledge. The answer mystery. So I ain't gonna go on this here because this is just showing the sources. You know, showing you that, you know, is there an ancient Egyptian prototype of the Kabbalah that predate the Jewish Kabbalah? Yes. Many scholars, esotericists, and Egyptologists argue that the aspect of what became the Jewish Kabbalah have prototypes in ancient Egyptian cosmology. I just proved it. Theology, I just proved it. And mystical philosophy, I just proved it. While Kabbalah as a Jewish system is medieval 1113 CE, its imagery and structures resonate stronger, much older, Kemetic or Egyptian metaphysical traditions. So I got the actual sources where you can get this information from, doing your research, comparing it, you know, and I even went into certain sources, you know, academic sources of this, you know, and so you go and do it. Look at these sources, buy these books here, you know. I ain't got to go over them. Just know I put the sources in here. We're going to make sure that they can't play with us now.
Yeah.
Pyramid text, utterance 600, 2400 BCE, Shabaka stone, Memphite theology. Yes, sir. It's telling you. It's actually talking about the shoe. You know, the Book of the Dead, spell 125. Oh, yeah, we ain't playing. So who going to check us?
Nobody. You know what I'm saying?
So gratitude, family. We appreciate you, man.
Absolutely. Hey, listen. Hey, listen, Kamishi. We love you, bro. We love you. We thank you. We honor you for your service. We thank you for everything you do, bro. All the information that you put out. Man, you put out, a plethora is an understatement of the information that you put out. And we appreciate you. But guess what, family? I do got to get off.
I already know. Because you held it up, brother, after all that being. Yep. Yeah, I know you got to go, brother. And we love you, brother. We love you.
We love you too, brother. We love you. And everybody, before I go, I want to do this. I can't Kaba as out. I truly love you and support you. I thank you for your support. We're going to get that. We're going to get this PowerPoint straight to you.
Yep.
Thank you for the $1.99 super chat. We thank you again for the $10 super sticker. And to my brother, Nicholas Bay. This brother here sharp too. He hiding in the cover. He's sharp too. Honors and gratitude for the $10 super sticker. And brothers and sisters, we thank you all. If you're not subscribed, please subscribe. Please hit the subscribe. If like the video and please share. And until the next time, Islam, Islam, Islam. Peace and love, beloved.
Yes, sir. And I'm dropping the PDF on you now, brother.
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.